the close here. Fantastic job by Trader Pratt and Ms. V. We're going to take you into the last 2 days of the trading session. We got the afternoon here, and of course, it's a holiday shortened week. And for now, we do have the markets holding on to some gains. It was red to start the day, about 0.25% before the open when we were on in the morning, and we're 0.5% to the upside. Pfizer giving us some positive news, which might be helping us just a little bit here. You see the S&P, Dow, and NASDAQ just above the 0.5% mark. TSX falling right in line there. Crude still holding on to some of its gains after 4% up move in yesterday's action, reversing what we saw on Monday where they were down 4% on demand concerns with regards to the Omicron variant. And sort of looking at some individual names here on the old heat map. Yeah, I mentioned that Pfizer got an approval on their latest treatment. And once again, what is good for them and what is good for the markets has been bad for Moderna, the biggest red name you're going to see on the board here, down now 7% and continuing to show weakness. When we look at IT, and the Oracle still hanging on to losses, down 2%. So it looks like that buyout deal with CERN still continuing to pressure that particular name. We do have Twitter and Facebook both down 1.5%. So yes, the market has been strong today. Facebook has lagged a little bit. There was talk about Amazon Web Services having some issues with some outages, particularly with Netflix for some U.S. users. But overall, we're seeing that hold up relatively well. Netflix itself is actually up a full 1%. We talked a little bit about Caterpillar in the morning show. They are up 2% in industrials. Pretty much a mixed board. I mean, you have John Deere down 1.5%. Caterpillar up. They did catch an upgrade and a price target raise from 40 to 240. Once again, we are seeing the cruise names sort of lead this charge to the upside. RCL and CCL both up 3.5%. NCLH only 2% to the upside. MGM, Caesars, both positive, though lagging the rest of the group there. We do have a quick look at what might be the biggest positive on the board, at least in terms of people's minds and hearts. Tesla shares are up almost a full 6% today. Had cracked that $1,000 mark, but has reversed a little bit here. Elon saying that he might be possibly done selling his shares. As you guys know, we always like to, we're about education here. We always like to go over some trades from the morning. Sometimes we go over trades at different parts of the day. This one in particular, we're going to bring to with Sean, we've alluded to, and was one taken a little bit later on in the session. Take it away, Sean.
Hey guys, your trade of the day today is going to be Pfizer. It's going to be quick, it's going to be simple, and it's actually just one trade. I'm trying to switch it up a little bit. We often show you multiple trades, but I get a lot of messages, a lot of you guys on PDT rule, you can't make multiple trades, so let's just talk about what we look at right here. Just interesting, if you're just joining us for the first time, this is what the level 2 looks like. Current price action happening right now on Pfizer, back and forth. You can see 47 million shares today, and then a beautiful time in sales as well. But let's go over here and just talk about this. Paxlovid. So basically, Pfizer gets the approval. Neil was just talking about it, that they have the first at-home pill approved by the FDA, going to go out to U.S. homes soon, within days. So this is what we look at. All you can notice here, and this is the important thing, is absolutely no trades whatsoever on Pfizer. Absolutely nothing until said news comes out. And then you could just see down here, it's about noon, the volume starts picking up, and I didn't get in right away. I could have got in here a little bit sub 59, but we let the news hit. We let it come through, and then we wait for the pop. So it breaks through 59.10, and we just take our long. So we let it bounce around a little bit at 59. Boom, it goes through. We're long 59.11, something like that. Our first out is really quick. Okay, it's a really quick out. The reason why, we're still not sure about what this news is going to do. And as I was watching this happen, it was like it wasn't going. I kind of feel bad. We could have loaded up. We could have got more and more shares on this one. It wasn't really going initially, up, down, and around. So it goes up to 59.50, comes all the way back down. Then we decide to take a 25. So we take like a small 15 to 20 cents because it's bouncing and actually comes back down. Then all of a sudden, boom, here we go. Now I feel like mainstream media has probably got this news. There's probably a lot of retail traders now. This is just minutes. This is a minute chart. So there's 59. out just ahead of 59.50. We do that all the time. I think it's like a 44.45 print. Then bang, all the way to the upside, and we get out at 60. So right now we're like, okay, this is good. We've gotten out 3 times now. So we've gotten out of 25, 50, 75%. This is live right now, as you can see what's happening behind me. Then all of a sudden, we're like, yeah, buddy, we've got our headphones in. We're listening to the music. We're really happy about this trade. Boom, to the upside. It goes in the money for me like $1.50, something ridiculous, all the way up to almost $61. Then fades back in and we're like, uh-oh, this is going to look really bad. Like, what am I going to do here? Where am I going to get out? I've just given up some profit. But we noticed some bouncing off spots. Comes back up here to 60.20, back down. Then as it comes back up, we're sitting there at $60.20 for the $1.10, and we close the trade. It turns out it was a pretty decent move. It does go back up to about 60.50, but right now we take away the market risk. The news is obviously already into the market. That was 2 hours ago, and now you can see it's fading back in. I believe Pfizer's probably a buy in this area between 59 and 59.20, so we may look at it there. But this is a one and done. It's a big hitter, and we take the long on the news. Notice the volume, notice the spikes up, let it settle down, and take our last piece out right there. So it's your trade of the day. It's Pfizer, and I was happy to make it.
And what a good trade it was. And we do have our watch list every single day in the morning, giving you the market movers in the pre-market. It is available via a QR code that you can scan so you can follow along. And as you see there, sometimes there are news events that come in the middle of the day that we want to make sure we trade. So good on Sean for talking about Pfizer, that trade in the morning. Now, obviously, there were some things that we did anticipate were going to be bigger movers today. And one of those, we talked about it here, Tesla up that 5%, now actually 6.5% to the upside. Story this morning, Elon Musk has sold $528 million worth and said he may not sell more. That was the quote. He may not sell more, but despite the fact that he was 20% short of his 10% target, and this is what he put out on social media, saying he would sell 10% of his shares. Right now, as we mentioned, I had said Tesla had broken the $1,000 level and retraced it. And in the time Sean was going over the Pfizer trade, it has gone back up through 1,000 and is now battling back and forth kind of at that level. So Tesla still on the run here, looking relatively strong. I know we had a small pullback in the markets, but any thoughts on Tesla going into the close for either one of you? I know it's not always our top a day trade, unless it's Ms. V making the trades. But Tesla here back and forth at that $1,000 mark.
I think the key thing that everyone has to keep in mind is that he said he may. May is the key word. May doesn't mean I won't. It just says I may, I may not. I might do this, I might not do this. So keep an eye on Tesla. It is moving strong. As long as he doesn't come out and say something else, you're going to see everyone kind of pile back in a little bit. You're seeing the strength here. It's been absolute low of 885 yesterday, 10:30 in the morning, and we're at 10:15 as of we were at 10:15 as of 11 a.m. this morning. So quite the move in 24 hours, just over 24 hours. Now sitting around 1,000 as we get into real holiday volume, right? Today would probably be the last big burst of volume, I would think, as most people would take tomorrow off to do their traveling and whatnot. Anyone who needs to do that will get that done as they go into the holiday long weekend, with the 24th being a day off, right? So here we are sitting around 1,000, still quite the day for Tesla. That started off around 970. I think the opening low was about 950 something, and we opened at 960 and change, and here we are sitting around 1,000. Quite the day still, but keep an eye on what comes out, whether it's a tweet, whether it's an official statement, but keep an eye on what he says, because May doesn't exactly say I won't or I will not do anymore. It just leaves the door open. I think that's the critical thing. Leaving the door open, technically you're not wrong if you go and sell some more shares, right? If you need to. So I think that's just key thing to keep an eye on.
He's actually increased his position in Tesla after
through the options, right?
Yeah, after selling these shares.
Yeah.
So, you want to talk about the ultimate ape? It's going to be Elon Musk. His stock goes up 800%, and he's still holding strong. Like, that's ridiculous. Well, I mean, he doesn't care about the money, but what a great move by Elon Musk. We're in Lucid here, so. We've talked about this one a couple times, trying to buy some of these dips. We did get out here at 50 off of these, so now we're going the back long, and we're just making back the loss that we had here. I still think Lucid, if anything, has a chance to go back up. This is only a $38 stock. So, if the market wants to get back to the high side, I still think Lucid gets back to 39 and change, and that's something to look at. If not, then we watch out for these bottoms that were made earlier on today, 37.70 and whatnot. But I still like Lucid here going to the upside for the rest of the day. But it's been a little bit of a hard move here. So let's wait to see. We did get those 80s out while we were doing that trade of the day, and now we have to wait for that. But as far as Tesla is concerned, look, I sold some at 10.20, and then now ridiculous because who cares if I'm up $20 on $1,000? Doesn't really matter. That whoopsies, we don't want all that chart. But 900, what a great bottom that was, and we'll see if that comes through again. I do want to pick at least up back 10. I sold 20% of my position. I like to pick 10% back up around here if it can come back in, and then maybe down, near the 200 period. We're gonna talk a little bit about moving averages coming up soon, but this 200 period moving average may be something down there at 778. But I still think that right now we're approaching this 50 period moving average and watching out for this 900 again. So I like Tesla, and I think today probably worth a few trades, but we haven't really made any on it. You bounced off VWAP right there on that breakback down below. And then right now, as I look here at what's happening on the day, 1,015, okay, that's not really a worried spot for me. I guess it's just breaking this 990, which would really be, the biggest concern. So if you are still long on Tesla, I guess it's just play off this little bottom wick. We've seen wick off bottoms. We talk about that all the time, and there's one right there. So it's a drastic move down by at least 3 candles, followed by, it's basically a doji star, but inverted like a hammer there. This is an inverted doji star. I forget what those are called on the bottom side, but we just call them wick off bottoms, where it's a change now. So the sellers are done, and then it started to rip back up. So that level, just for you guys there, is 988. Give it a couple more dollars. So I would say like 985, something like that. Probably worth getting out if you're still holding along on Tesla and you don't want to hold it overnight. So I would say congratulations, anybody long today. It's been a good one. But I think you got to use 988, 985 as your out, which is $10 from now. So it's not really going to matter. Hopefully that holds up and we trade above $1,000 coming into the close.
Yeah, hopefully it holds up. Just a quick note on both Tesla and Lucid. Rivian shares just broke the low of the day at 94 here. You can kind of see this level here getting breached just a couple of moments ago. Yesterday's support did come in at 92.40, so possibly it could check up at that level. Hard rejection when it tried to get back up towards that 100 level, got to 99 and has faded off. So Rivian, another EV name under pressure. Tesla holding up the group for sure today is the big leader, as we all know that they are. Another name that's under pressure today. I mean, I traded Alibaba to the short side today and should have had it off the open. They lost a cloud contract with the Chinese government, which obviously that's not good news. They've been under pressure from regulators before, and of course losing this deal, not the best. They were already gapping down, and sometimes you short it on the way back up and going to pay the price for it. Essentially range bound, which I suppose is not the end of the world response here. A lot of times we'll see it sort of sell off all day. Kind of range bound 117 to this 118.50. Could this be a sign that maybe they're not as interested in selling off in Baba today? I'm not sure. My read wasn't that fantastic on Alibaba today. I know long term, it's still at the bottom of this support range from the last time it got hammered. So there is that 110 support for those that are hanging on, hoping that they don't get delisted or hoping that eventually fundamentals matter in this name.
We talked about Baba this morning, and for anyone who's watching at that time, I mentioned that it's kind of stuck in that, like, it is a wide range, but yet it's still a range. This is the daily, by the way. Let me draw something real quick. This has been essentially, if you were to ignore that, that's been the trend. Forget the exact trend line. It's just the direction it's been going since this day right here, which is, what day is that? This is the 7th. Every high has been somewhat lower than the last move up. Now, it's not perfect, but at the same time, the direction is somewhat heading to the downside. As Neil mentioned, 110 is right there. So 110, you could price it at right there. There was a quick flash just underneath on the 3rd. This is not a good thing if you are long, but at the same time, I've seen some situations, and these are rare occurrences, but when they do happen, they're very aggressive, where a move like this, which is compressing against a sound number or a round number at 110, which would be the base, as it's moving down, it completely reverses directions. And if you get that kind of a move to the upside that kind of takes out all of this, I would say north of 128, then you are going to get an aggressive move north of 150, or you can target at least 150. But the way it's moving, it doesn't help the situation for any longs because it is losing steam. Every bounce has been lower to some degree, and then we kind of gap down. Yesterday was a strong day, today we gap down. Every move has been like that. So I just keep an eye on that 110 as we kind of start leaking to the downside, unless we get some sort of catalyst that breaks that trend line / resistance zones through the top. I think you are going to see somewhat of a trickle down on BABA towards that 110. So definitely watch that to the downside.
I mean, it's crazy. Like Neil and I could both lose shorting BABA today when it's just a short, pretty much all day, and it bounced. I didn't even look at this, and I should have looked at this in the afternoon. We were trading AMC, really Lucid, and SEAC, C change. But anyways, right into here, like wow, what a how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, something like that. An unbelievable amount of times back up here to 118.50, and then just as hold my beer back down. So we'll see if it breaks that one more time. We'll write this down for tomorrow. I don't know if there's going to be enough, action in the stock here today to get it back up to 118, but we never know with the futures. They could rally, and then off the races goes Alibaba. So we'll see if that can go. But I'm not a big fan of holding anything like this for the long term. I'm actually waiting to short any of these pops and to get out of my own position in the longer term account. So that's what I'm doing right now on Mr. Baba. And another thing here. I missed this bid down here at 28, but we're now sitting down around 2018, something like that here on AMC, and let's just try to hold this. It's come back up to 50 numerous times again, and that's where we're long. So we're just getting, we took out 20%, 10 and 10, both times it came back up here. Let's hope we can get a nice boost upside. If we take this out here, this 28.61 or 62, then I think we've cleared it, and then we can get back to 29 and change. So I do have an AMC out in the middle here in the 70s, and then we'll let it ride all the way up to the high side. Make sure we take some advantage of this push. So that's AMC, if you guys are wondering what I'm doing. Looking to get longer down near 28. And then if it breaks through 28, we'll give it a little bit of room, and then we'll smack it out. But 28 is the spot we're looking at.
There you go, AMC, the day trader's dream. It has been certainly for Sean this week, and for a lot of people. This entire week, SOPA has been an unbelievable mover, and I was gonna talk about it in a video on the watch list, but look, let's just get SOPA out of the way here because they get added to the Russell 2000 on Monday. That was the news, and they were trading. I mean, last week they were trading at like $4, even less than that. We're at $5 at the open on Monday, doubled up essentially on Monday. Bit of a downward day, but still actually higher. And then today's action. Look, I shorted it 5 times and had one long, so it's like one time I'm going long with the momentum. I'm going to be up on the session because it has reversed here and taking some tight stops, but it's still above VWAP. It's still above $15, which was a bit of an inflection point. Monster volume spike when it broke 15. So even with this recent pullback, which is somewhat significant, up that 50% in front of this 15. What are we doing with SOPA here? One of the most impressive names this week. Holiday shortened week, and it's like, there's no stopping it. Like every long has been a hold, and it's never felt like that. But yeah, what do we do here?
What do we do, Sean? You traded this today. Yeah,
we look back at our charts and we wonder what we were doing. That's what we do. So I don't know, man. I mean, look, we hit this early. We had no problem taking the trade. We missed that first. I mean, let's not even look at the level 2 here. Let's just look at the chart. So it halts here at 1150, right, and then drops back down. So we don't have any of that. That happens at about 10 o'clock. Then we say, okay, if it takes out 1150 again, we want to go long. So it takes out 1150 and we go long. Then it drops back down and we get longer at 11. So now our average price is like 11.25. It comes right back to 11.50 and we get out at some. So okay, so we take a 25-cent win. Yay for us, 25 cents. Man, we're so good. And then it rips up again and we get out at 11.75. And we're like, yeah, 50 cents. That's great. We have 50 cents winner. So fantastic. And then it rips up again and we take out $1, right? We take it out at 12 and we're like, yeah, now we're cruising. And then it sort of stops a little bit here. And this is where the patience runs out. And why does it run out? I don't know. We're just like, oh man, maybe it's going to fall back down. So then when it breaks 12 to the downside, we get out. And we're just like, you know what? We'll net out and we'll have a nice win. And it's a good one. But then what starts to happen is it just starts to go ham and takes out some of these levels. And then it's like boom, boom, boom to the upside. And then I look back at this and wonder, like, what am I even doing sitting here? Because SOPA continued to make the moves up with absolutely no halts. So again, great catalyst being added to the Russell. We love this name. And there it goes, SOPA. I'm sure it's made a lot of you guys, girls, whoever's trading this thing, a lot of money today. It's made me some money, not as much as it should have, Arun. But hey, there it is. It's SOPA. I paid for the shorts. I've made more, obviously, than it was 4 cents. So we've already made more than that on this stock to go. But I'm just thinking here, it could halt again. If we rip up to 18, I like that trade. So let's just say it rips right now to 18. I'm going to take that halt. If it halts at 18, just like it did up here, we'll take that price and see if we can get some price discovery to go, because SOPA here on a 20-minute chart, we're already, this is as high as we've been. And as I look at it daily, we know this stock went crazy off IPO, okay? So forget about 79, forget about all these prices, 49, 54. This was just a market function. But I really think the last couple days on decent news, SOPA could travel into this area. We're almost there, 18, 19, 20, and then we see what happens off 20 long. So right now I like SOPA, but I am a little bit upset at the way we traded that today. We should have held at least that last 25% for that, you know, possibility of what happened up to 17, 18 bucks. So that one obviously is a mistake, but hey, I'm glad I had the trade. We are in that name, and let's just keep it on our watch list, guys.
All right, more money is better than no money. Neil?
Guys, the moving average, something that you see on a lot of people's charts, to be sure. All we're talking about is a selected range of prices, closing prices usually, and you divide that by the number of periods in that range. Now, we've seen 50-period moving averages on a higher time frame chart, 9 and 10 on lower time frame charts. A lot of people have them available as an indicator they use. But let's talk about some actual strategies that traders deploy using those moving averages, whether simple or exponential moving averages, that maybe we can learn and add to our toolbox as both, you know, swing traders or maybe even short-term day traders, guys. So the simple moving average, it's a simple thing for a lot of people, but hey, it's all about strategies and executing trades ultimately.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'll start this off. I mean, what I've introduced, hopefully to a lot of the viewers here that have been with us for a while, is the 50-period simple moving average. And for me, this is what I use to get into positions and to look to see where we are on some of our longer term trades, right? And I have a good example here with Nike. This is the blue line. It's the 50-period moving average. Every single time it crosses is going to be an indicator to get long, right? And I mean, this is a big boost up. This is on earnings, so we're not really super concerned about that, but it does break the 50-period. And the thing about breaking a 50-period moving average is I also like to see it break with some kind of candle support. So when you get this breakdown here at 133, it's a trigger to go long. But if you miss that, which you probably wouldn't have been able to get this, maybe you can get it up here, 138, 148, or sorry, 139, 140, something like that, off of candle breaks. And then here's the move to the upside. Now, the 50-period moving average is going to give you outs as well. So when you're in that move, you could say, I'm into 130, 140. Where do I get out, right? And you're never going to catch the top. That's the thing about this particular average, right, is that it's not very close to the current price. It gives you 50 days. So when it breaks back down to the downside, that is your trigger out. And again, even right here, this is why I'm calling up Nike. It's breaking back down below the 50-period moving average, but it's also losing support here because we've bounced off this 164 a few times, and then the break to the downside brings us, I mean, this is another moving average of 200-period, which we bounce off again. But look at this. Let's just say, you know what? Forget about it. I'm out of Nike here and waiting to get in again. Well, you know, getting out here at 164 and then getting back in right here at 159 isn't that much of a big deal. I mean, you're saving $4 or $5, but look at the momentum this brings back up to the upside. So it triggers it back up to those highs again, and now off of, again, not a great earnings report, Nike comes back down. I mean, that's a great earnings report right there. But in supply chain worries, Nike comes back down and hits it right there at 165 and change. So your in would be 160 right there on the break. And if you want want to take some out, I always suggest don't use this as the be-all, end-all indicator, guys. But you may want to use it to say, you know what, I'm in now in a strong name. It's not going to work on a Lucid. It's not going to work on an AMC, stocks that have been flying around. But on stocks like a Nike, a J&J, something that's pretty consistent, I love to use the 50-period moving averages. So you get in there, and then you can get out right there again. And right now you're questioning getting in one more time. So as long as you're using this for some of these breaks, I like the 50-period moving average. It's tend to work for me really, really well. There's many more examples. You know, these are meant to be shorter videos, but you know, watch us every single day and you're gonna see that on the charts, when we look at the daily, I love taking positions on 50-period moving averages.
Yeah, you're adding 50-period moving averages. I'm gonna add one more thing to that. Especially when it comes to the futures, I have the 100 and the 200. Now, on my normal charts, you're not going to see anything because I don't really look at moving averages throughout the day. But these specific levels matter. The reason being, there's usually a lot of program activity around these price points. And you can see it, any trending market, you'll see this. This is the NASDAQ futures, by the way. You see, as we approach the 100, the yellow is the 100 here. As we approach the 100 in October of 2020, and then again in late October, this is the late September, and then we get here closer in March, and every few months we are getting closer to that 100. This is the trend being strong. Another approach to looking at this is, where do these moving averages cross over? You may hear it on CNBC or any news channel a lot. It's called a death cross, where the shorter time frame crosses below the larger, 200 being the larger one. Right? So as we cross over, it just means the trend has shifted. It's like a strong trend, and when you get that shift in trend, it's all of a sudden, oh, what are institutions going to do? Are they just going to sell out of their longs now that we've crossed over? And we get close, and this is one of those things, we get close often. You see this 50, the white is the 50. The 50 gets very close to crossing below this 200, never does, and the market is still strong, even though we went from 9,800 on the NASDAQ down to 6,800, we then took off right back to the upside without this crossover happening. So anytime we get very close to this crossover happening, just be aware that there are a lot of eyes with a lot of money behind them looking to figure out what they're going to do next if it crosses down. Why? I honestly don't know why this matters so much, but it's followed, it's well looked at, and institutionally, it brings in a lot of money when things like this are very close to happening or are about to happen, whether it's the matter of supporting the market back to the upside, preventing a cross, or the cross actually happens and portfolios are shifted. But just be aware that moving average crossovers, especially on the large scale time frames, the 50, the 100, the 200 that you see here, something to pay attention to, just because it brings in a lot of money from institutions.
Yeah, one more example here before we go. I just, you know, another name, and I was thinking about it and I forgot about it, so let's do it quickly right now. Google. This is the 50 period. Look at this thing just ride the 50 period all the way. Like this goes back down to January of 2021. So the whole year, it rides it the whole way, right? And I wouldn't use it, like if this is a name that you want to get into, I would not use this 50 period ever to get out of a position on a stock like a Google. You use it to buy any of these dips. These dips are not, you know, long. And that's the thing to talk about here, is that when you have a high quality name and you're looking to get in, you're saying, well, you know, when am I going to get in? Google just keeps on going up. I'm never going to be able to get in. Well, just wait for some of these dips. It does hit below the 50 period moving average a little bit here. So this is what you want. Of course, we've been in a bull run. It's a huge market, so this is going to make sense on the upside. But trust me, now that you're looking at moving averages, put some of these on your charts, think about it, and I think it will help you with your longer term trades.
And there you have it, guys. Both a way to get into positions in your long-term account, and also when to think about the trend with those moving average crossovers. So a couple of easy points there for you to implement, taught expertly by Arun and Sean there. And as always, remember, indicators on charts are telling you what happened in the past. So use them in conjunction with other reasons to get in, like quality stocks, as Sean mentioned, or overall trend trading or a strategy in the futures with Arun. So I hope that was good for you guys. Trading strategies around moving averages. And as we were doing that, I mean, I want to check in on your Lucid trade here for a quick second, Sean. And I don't know how it's going, but Rivian had just broken the low of the day. It found a bid and rallied about $2. It's now coming on one candle coming all the way back in. So you get a $2 rally as we were talking about moving averages, and then it just flushed another $1.20. So still some volatility happening here. I want to check in on Tesla as well, but Rivian, it looked like it was a reversal heading up maybe towards VWAP here at 96 and pulling right back down towards the lows. So volatility is definitely here to stay this week. It's maybe a holiday shortened week, but certainly we're not lacking for movement at all.
No, yeah, good check back on Lucid. Yeah, I mean, it does trade very similar to Rivian, but you can see Lucid hasn't really pulled back yet. There was a big move here in the NASDAQ that you got here. Yeah, thanks, Rob. I know it's still hard to see. I got to make this a little bit bigger. There was a big move down to the NASDAQ back to 16,040 there. You know, we talked about 16,000 and how much we love that level, right? And then the NASDAQ comes down, touches it. I mean, that's more for Arun, I guess. I know you're trading the S&P more, but okay. So Lucid does come back down into this 50 area where we're long. So this is why we're just taking out. I didn't even realize. Wow, it went all the way up there. Okay, yeah, probably should have taken another piece out near 39, but we are waiting. Actually, this is 39. We're actually waiting up here for 39, which is where I have the offer near VWAP. But I still think Lucid can get going. It's resisted that little drop off there. Looks like we bounced again off of a nice spot of 38.55. So that's good to go on that one. We have reloaded, and we're hoping to get some. Money. That doesn't sound so loud anymore. That's good. I think that's good. I think it was too loud before. There's AMC on a dip buy as well. So AMC does flush down on that same move, I guess, in the market, although AMC really hasn't been following the futures, but we do pick some up, so now you're going to see a much better price. We're only out of AMC now by a dime, so 10 cents or less right now than 10 cents on AMC, so hopefully it can come back up. We actually put on 130% more position, no, more than that, 180% or so more of a position down here than we initially had. So that's why my average price has come back in here a little bit. So now we're going to the upside. And Arun, I just want to, can we please talk? For dab it up, Hydration Nation, there you go. Remember what the story was early on. And I took your challenge to heart, and now we are at
3 p.m. You're ahead of schedule.
Little bit lower, my friend. Almost like 4 p.m.
3:15 p.m.
3:15, okay. But so we're a little bit ahead of schedule. And on that note, I'll be right back.
All right. The move to the upside we're getting as Sean takes care of business. As he takes care of business from all that water. The futures, they were sitting at about 62 or so when everything was falling off, and then quick spin around. Now we're at 67.5 on the futures. Nice 5-point bounce. As you can see on the screen, I had 3 positions, now I've got 2. GM was the one that I got out of from this morning. We were long just north of 55. We were long at 55.03, got some out just north of 55. It was 55.53 was the secondary exit or first exit. And then when it broke 56 just now, we actually got out all of it. So first exit, 50 cents, second exit, 90 something cents. Now I want to say 92, 93 cents. And we're walking away from GM now, but I've still got Adobe and Microsoft. Microsoft, we picked up this long. Again, one of those symbols that was put up in the chat. I am paying attention to the chat. When the trade's set up a certain way, I'm going to take them if they look good on my charts as well. So we went long just north of 328.50. We got 71s. Rode that. We finally got a first piece out just in front of 331 about 15 minutes ago, and we're still managing the rest of this. So this is still $2.20 in the money on the second half. The first half has already booked about, I want to say right here, $2.22 or so. And the other one is Adobe. Man, I've been holding on to Adobe for a while. 560 long. I bid my way into this. When it was trading at like 561 and change, I bid my way into this because Adobe looks quite thin. For anyone who hasn't seen the level 2 on Adobe, that's what the Adobe level 2 looks like. But when I got in, it looked a lot worse because right now the spread is 20 cents, but it looked a lot worse. It's done 2.3, but it is quite aggressive when it decides to move. So here we are long on Adobe from 560. Nice little move up $3. Came all the way back. Again, the reason I'm not getting out is because the target's higher. The risk on the risk I'm taking for this trade is about $4 and change, but that's not the reason I'm not getting out. It's just because I know that we have a ton of space. So I'm not going to move the stop until I have to. So I finally moved the stop, by the way, just out of 561. So even accounting for slippage, I should be able to book about 40, 50 cents or so, even if it slips past 561. We are long north of 560. A couple bounces below, a couple nice bounces towards the highs. We haven't really gone anywhere. If this thing actually starts to expand north of 563, we might get a nice little acceleration through the top, nice little move. I'm looking for maybe $5-6 on this if we can get some nice movement. Of course, fail safe is breaks 561. I'm out. I'll take my 40 cents and walk away on Adobe.
I don't know. I would have hit that. I would have hit that one myself if I had those keys available to me there. But like that's what happens, right? It's live here, live trading and live action, and the action here in ENSC and NYSE Biosciences. I want to hope that I'm saying that right. It is halted to the upside at 404 was the current halt price. Theoretical, I mean the auction price. It looks like it's opening up at 407. It's a low floater, but 8 million I think I saw for the float. No news that I'm seeing on this one, but it is on the move, and we want to make sure that we are trading what is on the move today. And looks like this is going to be an addition to that list. Obviously, we know SOPA is moving, and we're going to have a little bit of insights, and of course the EV names in play as well. So here we go. Here's another one for you guys. We'll see what happens. It's a volatility halt, so it should be open up in about in under 5 minutes.
Yeah, so I saw someone put up SOPA there, so that's halted, so we'll get to that when it does open up. But yeah, right now, SOPA just does make a nice move there. Some support, it looks like, anyways, near 16. I mean, it dips as low as 1550 right there. So, let's see what Society Pass, it's Society Pass, isn't it? SOPA, yeah, Society Pass. Yeah, okay. Society Pass. So let's see what that wants to do here at 18. I still think we can make a run up to this level. It looks like the volume's not dying down. 84 million shares right now. A nice bounce from 16 to 17. But like this, we've already talked about it down there. So the thing is, right now it's trading. This is pretty barcoding for a name like this. Like you're up 60%. It's kind of just dancing right here. So I'm not really sure. Again, if it breaks back down below this 1550, which it seems like we've now bounced. I mean, I'm going to even call this is 1 or 2 times bounce. I'm going to call that a bounce as well, even though that only went to 1580. I still consider that a bounce off 1550. So, if you're long this name right now, congratulations. Hope you're long down here somewhere. I would take a piece out if even now, as we get close to 17, that's probably a decent spot. And then if it does blow to the high side, get another piece out like 1775. And then if it flushes back down below 1550, then that would be my out, because this is $4 a few days ago. So you don't want it to come back down to $10 and then tomorrow you're sending a super chat and you're saying, what am I going to do because I'm stuck here in SOPA. So again, look where it's come from. We know the news. It's great news, but it doesn't mean just because you're being added to the Russell doesn't mean all of a sudden your company's worth that much more money. It just means more eyes are going to look at it. It's going to have to be added to some portfolios. But I'm telling you guys, there's no hedge fund that comes in right now or portfolio manager that is like, oh man, I need to buy SOPA right now before this gets too out of hand. They've already bought it. They get the note when it's being added and then they buy it. So that's it. It's a small stock. It's going to be like the last, I guess it's the last one that's been added to the Russell. I don't know if there's been any notes since then, but it's not a huge weighting. So I believe it's been an exciting day trade, but please don't get silly with this one. It could easily fall back down. That's my take on SOPA, and I know you have ENSC up.
Yeah, I'm looking. I thought it was going to open soon. It was supposed to be a 5-minute halt. Well, I was expecting a 5-minute halt. It closed at 232.54. We're at 238.13. It still hasn't opened, so maybe we're going to a 10-minute halt then. Projected open 424 on 29,000 shares. It's already traded 1 million shares. So looks like it's going to open 20 cents above where it closed. But again, that's a moving number. As more volume comes in, then you're going to see that number change. So for now, it does look like 425 is going to be the projected opening price, whenever that is. We've still got a few minutes left, so that can change. What are we going to do with, Microsoft? That was the other one, right? So this morning, I had alerts go off on Microsoft and Apple, and I chose to stick with one of the two index names. The reason being is like when you end up going long Microsoft and Apple together at the same time, that roughly is just under 0.25% of the total representation of the NASDAQ. So two stocks control north of 22 or 23% of the NASDAQ, Microsoft and Apple. So it kind of defeats the purpose of trading the stock individually. At that point, I might as well just start trading the futures themselves, right? So for me, I'd rather just choose one of the two. If they both set up, I got to pick which one looks better on the chart. So I'll go for, in this case, Microsoft came out first, so I just went for Microsoft. And it looks like Apple has actually gone side, not as great though in terms of movement, because Apple, when was this entry actually? This entry was around 10 o'clock. So if I were to say 10 o'clock on Apple, yeah, Apple's roughly where it was. Apart from this one pop it just had, because that's a huge pop, wow. That was 50 cents or so in the last 5 minutes on Apple. But apart from that one pop, we were relatively flat if I were to get in at the same time that I got into Microsoft. So Apple not doing as well, relatively speaking. Apple up 0.7%, Microsoft 1.21, and Microsoft looks like it wants to go towards the highs. What does that mean? I got to look at the futures now. Futures bouncing off nice little support. What I'm looking at, remember on the futures side of things, 46.80 was a level I called for earlier this morning. We're respecting it for now. I'm going to say 46.60 is the bottom band. So if we break 46.80, you go for the long, put the stop at 46.60. If you break the 46.60, you go for the short, put the stop at 46.80. It's going to be either or. Anything in between, you just leave it be. Don't rush anything in between, because this market's still trying to figure out what it wants to do. NASDAQ, although it is up 0.67%, I'm looking at the board going, how are the top 10-ish names doing? Mostly positive, except for Facebook or Meta being down 1.25% and Amazon being down 0.28%. So almost all positive, but then the strength, relative strength, isn't really there. NVIDIA is only up 0.36, Apple 0.66. So it's just one of those things where there is strength, but you're not seeing it across the board in the NASDAQ.
Yeah, before we go, we have Justin Kozach getting ready to rock and roll here. I just want to say AMC looks like it's starting to heat up. So we just took some out there at 35. Let's wait to see where it goes. We were sitting a little bit sub 30 there, just taking small profits. That's a cancel, Robbie? Okay, and then we'll go up here, so Justin will be with us in a second. 28.50 now. I'm just noticing these spots. This is really where I have my next couple outs. I don't want to get out of anything else until this does come through. So the market's starting to go. We've held this for almost all day here on AMC. Just been battling this stock. It's actually, I mean, it could be my top stock. Let's see where it goes. But right now it's making some moves. And you can see also Lucid right now making moves back up to 90 again. Obviously, we've got 40 cents in the money on this name as well. So Lucid and AMC, the two that I'm working with right now. And then, of course, we have ESNC there. And guys, don't... Again, you guys do whatever you want, but try not to spam the chat, because you'll get blocked. We have Nightbot, we have Prad, we have ban hammers all over the place here. So just keep the chat as clean as possible. We're looking for trade ideas just from you guys, from us, from everybody. We like to share on the chat. And it's just, if you keep putting the same symbol, I mean, I know why you guys are doing it, but honestly. Oh, Morgan Stanley. Yeah. Goldman, Sam there. Just let me know, Rob, and we can go over there when you're ready. Absolutely no rush. We are waiting for Morgan, though, to go back. Not Morgan Brennan, Morgan Stanley to come back to the upside right now. As, yeah, okay, it's a nice, 94. Didn't even realize it got to 94. I actually haven't stepped into this, Sam, yet. I'm still waiting to get into Morgan Stanley. Again, the 50-period moving average is at a hundy. I don't mind paying up for this name. Just like to see the bank settle down a bit. I'm in JP Morgan and a handful of Canadian banks as well. So, you know, I'm already in this space. I obviously do prefer tech. You guys have seen that. Win, let's check out on how Win is doing for us right now. Our last buy on that one was 80, so 86. Okay, that's doing Win type things. Roblox we've bought recently. We've bought Microsoft. We bought NVIDIA recently. But our last NVIDIA buy was like in the 80s, so it's not really doing too much. But NVIDIA, AMD, I like all of these names. We will talk about some of our plays moving forward in the new year. We have next week Kevin O'Leary coming back on the show, and I already know what his play is going to be. It's going to be Coinbase for his play of the year, but I am going to ask him what's all about that.
Yes,
so
he's open.
We'll see that. ENSC, okay, quickly. Do you have, I don't have it up. Let's go over to a Arun screen quickly. Or do you have it up? Okay, he has ENSC, so it did open up higher or lower, my man?
It opened at 430. So it's still trading at 430. It was projected at 425, and then it kind of moved up. 430 is the open, but it hasn't really done anything since it opened. It might pick up some steam now as I talk about this. Now here we go, 450 on the NSE as it heats up to the upside.
All right, we are ready. We do have our guest of the day, one of my favorite segments. So glad to have added Justin. That's the one thing here in late, I guess it's maybe just December he's come through. So this is a great addition to our Trader TV Live team. Let's throw it over to Neil.
Yeah, it feels like he's been here the entire quarter, but certainly we're happy to have Justin, the marketing guy, this time not sitting next to me, but here via, I think, Zoom. We still might be using it. No, apparently something else. But before we get into some of the topics you wanted to discuss here, yeah, well, I know what jersey that is. It's a Maple Leaf jersey, but who's on said Maple Leaf jersey?
The man, the myth, the mustachioed legend, number 34 himself, the great Austin Matthews, a generational talent playing for an amazing team. And yes, I know Sean is going to give me grief about this because, being an ex-Leafs fan now, now a big Zach Hyman Oilers fan, I still got to represent for the home team that I cheered for so many years. So throwing on the Leafs jersey today just because trying to get some space for tomorrow's holiday sweater. So. There you go.
Not too bad. Me personally, it's a Gary Roberts jersey signed by Wendell Clark. But hey, there's nothing wrong with Austin Matthews. Speaking about being in Toronto, the first topic you want to talk about here today, and I got the talking points, and I'm like, oh, Via, that's interesting. I take the train every day, take my GO train in. I know there's Via. We're not talking about Via Rail. We're talking about something else here. So what is up with Via?
So yes, most certainly not via rail going public, but different via, but they do the same sort of thing. They're a company that is focused around helping get people around cities, and they've built software and algorithms to help adjust routes and schedules to dispatch vans, buses, and shuttles more efficiently by pooling people traveling the same direction. So very similar to what Uber Pool and other transportation services have done. Recently valued at just a little bit more than $3 billion with a recent $130 million fundraising round that was actually done a couple of weeks ago. But now they are going public. Goldman Sachs is leading the IPO. No idea on share price when they're going to be when they're going to be trading publicly, but going to be an interesting company. Listen, I'm a huge fan of these transportation services. I think that this is definitely the way to go, so to speak. No pun intended. And it's going to be kind of interesting to see another player kind of enter the field and see what they're going to do to make transportation more efficient in larger cities.
Yeah, and look, we talked about yesterday. We talked a little bit about Reddit coming to market, and of course, if you're gonna file end of year, that means we are waiting for 2022. So it's good to have a couple of interesting names coming to market for early next year, hopefully, with Reddit and now Via. Look, a name that I want to say that everybody should be a little bit more familiar with. I certainly am. I didn't know Via, honestly. So I'm glad you brought this to our attention. But look, as if Apple wasn't great enough already, Apple back in the news. Now, something that had been discussed, I think, previously is finally coming to market here. So tell us what's going to be big with Apple coming up.
So Apple, they kind of sneak peeked us a little bit at the WWDC earlier this year. The TSA revealed in a panel conversation that they're going to be testing Apple Wallet Ids at a few of their airports, or a few airports in the United States, starting in February of 2022. The idea here is that instead of presenting a physical piece of ID like you normally would, at an airport, you can now load what is called a mobile digital license into your Apple phone or Apple Watch, and you'll be able to display that at TSA, and then they will automatically scan that for you, and that will show your ID. So launching in February of 2022 with two more airports going quote unquote live in March 2022. So certainly starting to see mobile digital licenses becoming a little bit more mainstream. I mean, look, the reality is we carry our mobile devices everywhere. We use them to research, to buy, to do everything else. So digital licenses, digital identification really is the next big step. And from here on out, it's not just driver's licenses now. It's health cards, it's your birth certificate. It could be, anything that you can store in a digital capacity. Of course, with that comes a privacy angle too, right? Apple has not always been on the receiving end of popular sentiment when it comes to privacy. So it's going to be interesting to see how mobile device companies are going to handle that side of, personal security or personal identification security. So that'll be interesting to see what happens now.
Yeah, a natural extension with, of course, the wallets the driver license on Wallet already being rolled out. There's Arizona, Connecticut, Georgia, Iowa, Kentucky, Maryland, Oklahoma, and Utah already you can have your license there. So first to Apple, and then eventually likely to extend to Android at some point down the line. So another tip in the cap of the name Apple. They're a strong one, of course. And sort of lastly here, we opened our show this morning talking about Elon Musk and saying he's done selling his shares, and Tesla having a strong day today, back to that $1,000 mark. But something else here going on with Tesla that you brought to my attention that you wanted to talk about here today, Justin.
Sure. So Tesla is giving everyone the gift of free power. This holiday season, from December 23rd to December 26th, they are opening up their supercharging stations. 75 of them across the U.S. will be giving away free power, free recharging to Tesla vehicle owners as they travel across the United States and throughout their state for the holidays. 100 million Americans are typically on the road in the peak holiday season. So if you think about that, 100 million people. So giving away some free power, it's going to be pretty interesting to see what happens. I think this is a great idea. I love that they are great at getting free PR, whether Elon Musk is selling another couple dozen billions in stock or giving away some free supercharging for some of their vehicle owners. So great idea. And it's going to be interesting to see. I would love to see what the stats look like, for usage, after the 26th. I'll have to send a tweet to Elon and see if he's going to get back to me. Maybe he can give me that data.
He just might. But hey, look, as you said, they're good at getting press. There's a reason why you don't see their ads on TV, because they don't need to. They find their own ways to get their press. And a certain somebody wants to chat with you as well. Hopefully you don't get too much grief over that being an Oilers fan.
I'm sure Sean has a lot to say about that.
Yeah. There it is. Yeah, no, I don't have anything to say. I'm actually just have a small little flex here on everybody. This is Wendell Clark. So when I was down, my kids played on the floor of the Scotiabank Arena now, Air Canada Centre. So that's my man right there. And here's Wendell Clark. So I actually just met him about 2 years ago, and it was a great experience. Shook his hand and everything like that. Great guy, Wendell Clark there, one of the all-time favorite Leafs. And Neil did mention, of course, about having that signed Wendell Clark jersey there. But I do want to say, I got to give you credit, because Daryl Sittler there, man, you got 7 points in that pickup game that you had there on Monday. So congratulations. I want to ask you, were you, playing hockey as a kid? Did you ever make it through any ranks or anything like that? You're a big dude. I figure like you could be one of those stalwarts on defense there.
It's funny because I actually started playing hockey about 6 years ago, and I had never played before. And I randomly decided one day I want to learn how to play hockey. So I went out, bought all the equipment, and I hooked up with a bunch of dudes and said, I want to come out and play some pickup. And I remember the first game that I scored, my first goal, I left the rink with like the biggest smile on my face. Yeah. I was like, and that was it for me. And I was hooked at that point. And that was 6 years ago. In August of 2015 was my first game. And since then it has been a ride, man. I love it.
Is it your favorite? Is it your favorite sport to play?
It absolutely is my favorite sport. There's a reason why they say that hockey is the greatest game in the world, because it is the greatest game in the world. It combines everything that I love about sports. And it's just, I've met amazing people. I've had the opportunity I've made so many great friends, and it has been the greatest thing that has one of the greatest things that has ever happened to me. So, I can't say enough good things about it. So everybody should play hockey.
Hey, I couldn't agree more. My kids absolutely love it. But I did want to thank you, Justin, for coming through. Do we see you tomorrow? Are you in the building tomorrow?
I'm not in the building tomorrow, but I will be somewhere skulking around the internet looking for another story. So, and you asked me yesterday about my tech gift.
Good one.
What I've always wanted to get, and by always I mean within the last couple months, is not another Taylor Swift album, because I got the recent one. My Secret Santa came through in a big way. Exactly. Oh my God, she came through in a big way and got me the latest version of Taylor Swift's Red album, Taylor's version on vinyl. So super excited about that. That's not the tech gift. The tech gift that I would really love to get this season is a set of flight pedals or rudder pedals for my flight sim setup at home. That would be the icing on the cake or the beacon on the wing. So
you know what I just hooked up? Wow. That's okay, everything's all good. I just hooked up today my new Pixel, the Pixel Series A buds. They're actually fantastic. The things, it's amazing. I love the quality of those. I just hooked them up today to go with the brand new Pixel. But Justin, thank you so much. Always a pleasure. Thank you for stopping by. Merry Christmas, I guess, if we don't see you tomorrow. Hopefully we do. So we'll say that to you and yours right now. But thank you one more time for coming through. It's always a blast.
Yes, and happy holidays to you and to chat. Let's go.
Let's go. Thank you, Justin.
Go Leafs, go! I'll echo those thank yous there, Justin. We'll try to stretch. We'll try to twist your arm to get you back on tomorrow and find some news stories. Maybe you'll have a Christmas sweater tomorrow. But of course, if we don't see you, happy holidays and enjoy playing that hockey. I skate too poorly to do it myself, but I'm glad you found something that you love.
But yes, I will be on tomorrow with the Christmas sweater, guaranteed.
I love it. Once again, there is Justin, the marketing guy. You can follow him on Twitter as well. And look, hopefully everybody on the crew is going to have a Christmas sweater. And hopefully this market can hold up to give us a continuation of that Santa Claus rally. I'm going to go right back over. We just talked about Tesla, of course, the free charging. That's how they get their advertising. 1,000 level has been held. So we are pulling back in towards that upside. So we're finding some strength going into this final hour of the day, hopefully. As the futures, we like to end in the green. I said this morning, I'd be perfectly happy with almost any green print after what we got yesterday. And I feel like the market's trying to do its best to hold up.
Yeah, I feel like we want this market to get, we've called it already and we said, yeah. And we also said that Santa Claus is coming to town. And where is this Santa Claus rally? I think there it is right there. So Santa Claus rally started yesterday. I talked about it. Generally, it's the last 5 trading days and the first couple days in the new year, so 2022. But yeah, Santa Claus is back in town right now, baby, as AMC ripping up the board to one of my more profitable stocks today. And I was just telling Arun, like, why do I even bother to do this? Like, I hold this all the way. I mean, I didn't hold it that much. We bought it at 57 and held it down to 28. So that was about a 60-cent worth of hold. And then we averaged in. But the thing was, we had 200% of the position that we had, right? So we had, for example, if we had X amount of shares there, we went times 2 almost down to that side. So as it comes back to the upside, we do get some out. But now, that it's gone into a profitable state for us on AMC. I mean, it was profitable before. Our average price was like 28, 29. So now you're up to 30 here on AMC. So that name's going to continue to work. And now I'm not going to get out of any more. I'm actually just going to cancel even my stop orders right now. I don't have any offers upside until we get to 29. So we'll wait on that one. And if it breaks back down below 27, we'll kill the rest of that position. And another one right now, to the moon goes Lucid right there. And so, Lucid again, up on the board again for me. We only have one negative stock today for us, and it's going to be Alibaba, and that was on that drop right there, where we should still be short. Purple's shorts, but that's that. So right now, I don't know whether or not this is a silly move here. We'll see if AMC gets some love into the close and continues to rally into power hour. So AMC right now, 50 cents in the money, and actually 50 cents in the money on Lucid. So we've got back-to-back jacks right here, and we're just looking for more. And I know you're just sort of massaging those positions as well there, Arun, in some of those long-term trades that you have as the market still bumping.
Yeah, I've still got Microsoft on the long side, up 269 on that trade as it approaches daily highs, and then as well Adobe. It was doing much nicer. Now I'm wondering what's going on here, because we kind of broke out all the way to 564.5, which would have made it a $4.50 winner, but it is coming back in. It's at 563. So here we are. We're sitting on a $3 winner. And ENSC absolutely going nuts. And this is what
when it halts again, are we going to?
It probably will halt again. That was the halt should be what, 50, 60 cents? So it should be right here.
It
actually, 589 should be the halt.
You want to try to go long here?
No. I can't. I was debating.
Give me long.
511. Sean's trying to get some long.
Get your boy long.
But 511 is what I was debating getting longs when there was a massive bid at 511. I was like, do I take the chance and go for the long? I was like, I don't want to take the risk at this point, this late in the day. Not a fan of it. But it's about to halt at 5. Well, it did halt at 589, projected to open at 6 even. and it's still, it just halted. So that number can definitely change as we get closer to the open, which should be around 3:03, just short of 3:04 p.m. Eastern time. So here we are waiting for that one to open. That seems to be the exciting move right now. This whole thing started at 350-ish, and then we halted just north of 4, open, halted again around 470, and here we are now halting one more time at 5, just short of 590. So waiting for those moves to if you caught it on the first halt, you're doing quite well. That right, you buy it at $4 and you're sitting almost at 6. That's almost a 50% return in just 20 minutes, less than 20 minutes. So that's a great return for anyone who's jumping on board for all these halts. Here's the thing with me too, right? I'm so used to position trading that when I see these things, I'm just like, do I want to put up the risk? Because I know what happens. I've been there when things turn very quickly and you put up the shares and you put up the risk and all of a sudden you're like, oh, in 5 minutes I lost a ton. I've experienced that, so that makes me hesitate versus I'd rather see the hits coming. That's why my Adobe and Microsoft positions, I can see the hit. If they were to turn around, I know it's going to happen. Versus the ENSE, if I go into a halt and I'm long and it turns, I'm not going to see it coming. It's just going to blow it up. So that's my hesitation on these types of moves. But man, if you caught 4, that would have been a great trade.
Come on, Flame Boy. Yeah, what are all these for? You made $5,000 on the trade? Come on, man. That's good. That's good as gold right there. Good trade, Flame Boy. What's up, Justin? There he is. What's up, Justin? Say what's up to Justin again. Right there. Thank you for coming on the show again. Great guest. Okay, so I actually saw someone in here ask about Palantir, and thank you for doing that. Palantir did make it. I don't know, where is it here? PLTR. Oh, it's right here. Kittronics. Thank you, Kittronics, for bringing it up. It did drop into the 80s. Possible trade going into the close. Hell yeah for that one. So we are into Palantir. Thanks for bringing that up. And we just looked at this trade. And I'm just going to play it very, very simply here off of this level, 1865. So hopefully it rips up. What a great open for Palantir. This must have been Aunt Kathy just buying this. You can see today. You'll probably check her out. Oh, yeah, AMC. Let's go. AMC starting to go up to the upside right now. Wow, what a good buy that was, man. We talked about it early. And we also talked about defending these levels. Let me just show you the sticky note one more time here for those of you that aren't following me on Twitter and may want to. Just as a resource, up to you, man. I was also tweeting some songs out and things like that. Look, AMC has been great for me, right? So we talked about that. This goes out today at 8 o'clock. You can see long near 29. We started that. I'll show you the chart. Has been on an amazing run. Support should be near 28. So you know what? Because we're on the show, I'm obviously finding out that we make way too many trades because we're trying to get you guys some action. If you just wait for 28 down here, man, sure, it takes till 1 o'clock, but it comes right back in. Here's me taking these 29s. Look, it was profitable. These are winning trades right here. So all the greens are in, all the reds are out. So you're not going to see any red below a green here. So these are all nice trades, but we did average our biggest spot down here near 28, trying to act a little smart there and play off some of our own notes. So now it's come back up here, and I said I wouldn't get out, but this is what I said to Arun also earlier. I just see profits, and it's like I take them, and I know that's something that I have to work on because some of these bangers, like a SOPA, like a Pfizer, I mean, there's so many different examples. Pfizer we did pretty good on today, that we didn't take enough profit on the trade, and we got out too early. So you saw me yesterday with that video. We left, what, $15 on the table straight up. So right now on AMC, looks like it is bouncing around here at 70. So this time, I feel like I'm not incorrectly taking a little piece off, but we do have, there it is. So I was just going to say we just took off about 15% or so of our position right there at this high spot. So now, and I say this, and let's just not look at AMC. I'm going to put an offer right here, like 96, 97. Hopefully that'll fill us, and then we'll watch the rest go to the upside. Looking really targets like right here, man, 29.50. I don't expect this thing to blow up, but if it does, at least we'll have something on board. Lucid also a nice little runner for us. What's up, Neil?
Yeah, what's up is a lot of these low float runners here. Got another one, TRT, short interest 9%, float 2 million, just over 2 million shares. This is, I say only up 2% or not 20%, only up 20% because ENSC and some of these other high flyers that are low float continue to run. It's at this $13 level. You're breaking out on the daily chart. I mean, you got to go. You can go back as far as you want, but this is a name very, very small float. I think this is something we should stress. in a holiday shortened week when volumes in general are going to be a little bit lower, it is easier for some of these to move. And there are a lot, and when I've been checking for news here, sitting in and filling in for Brendan, a lot of these names that are running, sometimes the news is people tweeting about it, and it seems like message boards and social media pumping stocks up to a certain degree. And because of the low floats, it's a lot easier for those moves. So trade cautiously here. Arun's basically said you don't want to get caught in some halt trades and manage your risk for sure. But there's going to be more of these for the rest of the day today, and certainly tomorrow, and probably a lot next week as well. So these low floaters still front of mind.
You might get still lucky. We were looking at the halt of ENSE. It was about to halt at 620, and then they broke it. Let me pull it up for you guys so you guys can see.
I have it. It's about to halt again.
It's going to halt again. Sean's got it at 620. I'm not playing this game. This is way too dicey for me. Not involved.
Okay.
I'm just going to ride.
It may fake halt again, but we are in this.
Oh, they're going to break it again.
Yeah, shit. Crow. Yeah, it does break there. We have a small position there at 620. So that's two back-to-back double halts there that didn't work out. So I don't know. It looks like it wants to go downside right here. So we took that shot there at 620. It didn't halt, so now we got to get out. Maybe it halts again here. I mean, we don't have to get out anything. Maybe we'll wait till a 560 break or something like that. Just taking a shot here in case it continues to go up.
We do have some support at 6.
Yeah, it looks like we have some support here. I mean, normally, well, there it goes. Maybe it goes the other side, halts to the downside. So, yeah, we'll probably have to get out, but we just took a shot there on that fake halt. Not big shares, man. I was even saying to Arun, this might be the last chance because it doesn't halt. Stocks don't halt like 6, 7, 8 times and continue to go.
Unless you're Kodak. Do you remember Kodak?
I remember Kodak. Yeah, they went from all of a sudden a camera, a picture company to making vaccines. It's going to halt to the downside. There you go. Yeah, it's going to halt to the downside.
536 looks like it's going to be the downside halt. You can see the offer building. It's most likely going to be 536. If they stay here and can't break it, you're going to lose that offer, and it's going to. If this, there it goes. Ooh, okay, 536 is the halt. Projected open 520, but we just halted. So this could get a little bit more dicey to the downside, given how many people are piling into this as it moved from $4, 350 all the way to 6 and change, and now here we are at 536. In the meantime, though, both my other positions are doing just fine. Adobe taking a sweet time. I don't want to hold on to this too long, though, because Adobe's imbalance will definitely move it, even if the imbalance is like 50,000 shares. So I do have to be careful on how long I hold on to Adobe, but for the time being, it is just under, it is actually $3.99 in the money. So it is starting to move to the upside. Great. I just want to see a quick acceleration, maybe towards that 365. And if it stalls out, I can start taking some profit. I have moved the stop up, so I'm walking away positive, even with slippage, but I do have to be smart about how I take this as we're near the end of the day. So Adobe starting to go finally, and looks like Microsoft also wanting to go towards the day highs as well, as we just got above 331.50. So that's sitting at a $2.79 winner at the moment. I'm just going to wait for these two to play out. Maybe the futures, if they take the 80s, I might get involved as well. 46.80 to the upside might get me to play on the future side of things as well. For now, though, I've been, like I mentioned earlier, I'm boxing this in. 46.80 up top, 46.60 down below. Break either side, I'll take the trade and use the opposing side as the stop. So for now, 2 longs and waiting for the futures, and have some entertainment with ENSE halting up and down.
Yeah, we got out a little bit of that trade, so we'll wait to see what it wants to do. Here we go. No, this is not SoFi. This is Palantir. Hold on a second. We want to go over to SoFi quickly. NQ there. Yeah. Okay. SoFi again. Wow. Like what a great opportunity this was again. So many names like a Palantir. I mean, obviously the futures did have this dip down to retest some of these lows. So no surprise that a lot of these names did as well. As SoFi came right into this pre-market level of 1480, that was a great buy again. So we got to sort of like pay attention to some of these plays as they go, and then hopefully we'll be able to catch some of them a little bit more. But if you guys see anything like this where you fade back down and then now make another run back to VWAP, like that's support down there. And if we're gonna sit here as day traders, and I know a lot of us trade different styles, but no matter what is that we've seen volume down here, big volume come through right off the open there for SoFi, and we loved that trade early and we just missed it. So that was a name that we like. And if you look here at a daily chart, this is why I like SoFi, man. I mean, we've already seen it has potential. This is November 15th. You're talking about a month ago, up to $25. So it was basically a double a month. Well, not a double, but 70% higher a month ago. And no surprise here that it can go back up. So I like SoFi down here. They're waiting for that banking license, and we'll see what happens. But if SoFi gets that, man, this thing is to the moon. So I really think that SoFi is a name that you could definitely buy, stash away for 2022 and not have any worries about it at current levels. Because, I mean, again, we've seen PaySafe, we've seen a lot of these companies fall on their face. I believe SoFi has legitimate businesses, and, we'll see if it can work. But I do like SoFi down at these levels. So have a look if you're interested.
I see the chat talking about RELI, Rely.
Again?
Rely, yeah. It is Rely, yes. We're not saying Rely. We are saying Rely. Rely, damn it. Rely is halted as well at 589. No, not at 589. Projected open is 589 after halting at 490. Wow. Okay. I just saw this in the chat. I was like, we were looking at this yesterday.
Halted again?
Yeah. And it's not open yet. It halted at 303.18 and it's 309.55. So maybe a 10-minute halt, but quite the move here. If it does open, it looks like it's going to open at 575, so which is going to be 85 cents from where it closed. So quite the move here in the last 5 minutes off a halt here. It was trading. It was doing absolutely nothing for a while. Well, I mean, if you call this nothing, but it's been relatively quiet, at least in the afternoon, and then it just absolutely took off in one bar and halted, and we're waiting for that open probably in 3 minutes or so. So we're waiting for that, and I also noticed that there's some talk about, what was the other name there? It was not Facebook. It was, what was it? Lucid. Sean, you were trading Lucid earlier, I believe.
Yes, sir. Still
Lucid is just, man, Lucid down 10%. No, not. I was going to say, I was like,
no,
down 10%.
It's up 2 and a bit.
Yeah, just underneath 2.5, so 2.37.
Now you know the struggle with the charts is real.
Well, yeah, that's why I pull up the e-signal chart immediately. Lucid's stuck in this little range here. So although you have this nice little support at 36, it does look like, this reminds me of the BABA chart as well, where they've got a support base down below and the lower highs coming in, kind of pressing towards that 36. I think what I'm going to put down is mark off this 36 and see if we can actually get a break below 36. I think for me, that's going to be the trade. Until we get above maybe 43, 44, I'm going to focus on Lucid on the short side. But at the same time, I'm not going to look at this every day. If the alert goes off at some point between now and next week, I'll take the short or the short. Otherwise, I'll just let it be and kind of move on. And as we get closer and closer to Rely opening up soon, hopefully it is a 10-minute halt unless there's something else that I'm not seeing. And as I say this, futures taking off to the upside, 46.75. Microsoft not at day highs, but man, is it close. Microsoft at 12 cents from day highs, and then Adobe putting in brand new highs as we approach 565 as well, which is now sitting on a $4.66 winner on Adobe. Microsoft also at $3 in the money as well.
Yeah, we love ourselves some softy, that's for sure, as that's going to the upside. And then there it is right now. We'll hit again. We'll go chicken dinner winner on this one as AMC just prints us at 90. So we talked about sitting there at 90. We didn't look at it all the way up, which is a good move. It hits 90. We take another piece out right there. So for right now, AMC, yes, destroyed right now. So really happy with the way this afternoon's going. And yeah, we do have Lucid trade long at 38.50, as you guys can see on the board. What's up, Neil?
Yeah, like Reliant was in the news earlier this week when we had it on the watch list. But just a note, I did put it in the chat. The warrants of all these issues, if they have warrants, still openly trade. Now, a lot of people during trading halts like to go to the warrants to see how it's moving, but be very careful. Just noting these. I know DWAC, when it was halting all the time, the warrants would go nuts. 200,000 share volume on these warrants. I would be very, very careful trading them on Reliant. That halt is actually still ongoing on the primary shares, but be very, very careful. Sometimes it's a good idea to flip to the warrants just to get an idea of where they're going, but in this case, it's just another low floater, 2 million share float, and it seems like every time you check in, it's just some message boards and it's Twitter pumping some of these names. They're going from one to the other, it does seem. It's just that kind of a day. I
almost feel like this Palantir, like what the? I just keep looking over and it's like flat, 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 like market's starting to go upside. And this is where we put on our hat again and probably start to overthink this. Like the market here going up, back to day's high, right? We talked about buying some names yesterday off the open. If you did that, hopefully you're just cashing out right now and it's going to be a good Christmas. But right now, Palantir just kind of like stone cold chilling down here at these bottoms. And I don't know, I mean, the bottom's down here 1865, but I don't know why it's not continuing its move up. Sure, it has had a nice move up, but I'm still thinking we can get to 19 at least here. So that's Palantir right now, looking at that name. I don't know if there's anything else you guys want to look at here. I mean, I know there's lots of names here. What's my take on that Relay halt? So yeah, we'll have a look at that. I know we just talked about that with Neil and with Arun. I traded this yesterday. I'd have to look at some of the price levels, some of the price discovery right there. It does halt at 490. The first time, is that the first time it halted today? Looks. Oh, no, it might halt. No, it halt. Yeah, that is the first time it halted here today. So big volume. There it goes. So I was going to say, there's a lot here. Like whenever something halts and we're not even near where we opened up, I do think that there is room to go. And of course, now it starts to go as I say that. But you know, back into here, there's probably some support down here, but just don't get it twisted. Like if there's not really any news, then all this is just market function not working, in my opinion, right? It's a low float, people trying to buy the shares up, and when there's no more retail and no one's selling, then it just has to go up because the shorts get blown out, and there's markets, there's margin calls, so on and so forth, and then that's what's happening right now to this name. So let's go at a 20-minute chart quickly here. This is a daily, so this is already scary a little bit. We haven't been here in a long time. This goes all the way back to March of 2021. So, you know, you do have some high side here when I guess where we IPO'd right here. So that was a good trade, and that's where we are right now. So I would say maybe if we can take out 650, then that could be something, and then we see about ripping to the high side again. But we already got 828. So I would say for me, what is the high of the day? 550. I don't mind that trade. So we've only halted once. I think I like this trade halting through 550. This is a 20-period chart here, so we've already been up. That was today where we got this high. So one more try here through 550. I think probably worth it on this name.
All right, I've gotten out of my Adobe position. I'm completely out now. We were long at 560.13, got some out at 564.69, and then got some out just underneath 564. So we're fully out. The first one was like $4.50 something cents, and the second one was just short of being $4 in the money. So we're completely out of Adobe. Did well, got to where I wanted it to get to. It started to slow down. I don't need to hold on to this as we are running out of time. Imbalances start to move these markets. As we get closer and closer, you got to be more sensitive to these imbalances, especially on these kind of names where the volume is, it's hard to come by. It's volatile, right? So the spreads are there, and it's just one of those things where if Adobe were to find a sell wave or a wave of selling, I'm going to lose all the bids pretty much for the next dollar. So I'd rather just start cashing out now and not hope for, you know, an extension. It's done quite well. It's hesitated around this 564, so I can be comfortable with the fact, or happy with the fact, that it's done what I needed to do. It's covered almost all the risks that I would have taken on the trade, and we're running into the end of the day, which I need to be flat by anyway, so we're gonna walk away from that. Focus on Microsoft, which I don't have to worry about for the imbalances because there's a ton of volume. There's a ton of volume for me to get out on if I need to get out of Microsoft. In the event that the Microsoft imbalance comes out sell side, there's enough volume. So I'm just going to let this one ride. This one's still $3.24 in the money for the Microsoft long. And then as I say that, though, futures, they're moving in tandem, right? Microsoft and well, this is the S&P, but I imagine the NASDAQ futures looks something similar as well as we kind of move back towards the high. Actually, let me pull up the NASDAQ futures. Sometimes they do their own thing. Are they? Yeah, the charts look exactly the same, except the pullback on the NASDAQ futures is a little bit deeper, but here we are moving back towards our highs. In the event we take out 46.80, I want to go long, but if we do it after, I want to say 330, 325, I don't know if I want to participate, but definitely 46.80 is the level that I wanted to go long at. 46.60 is the level I wanted to go short at, and we're stuck in the middle for pretty much since 10 a.m. We've been stuck in the middle. That move, that initial move, that 25 to 70 run was half an hour, and then sideways all day after that. So here we are waiting for something to happen on the futures. Maybe I might go for something towards the end of the day. My only concern with this type of move now is that, has there been enough selling? Was this move from about 12:30 to about, 1:30, the 1 hour we spent selling going down, is that enough to get people out? that have already gone long intraday and want to take profits? Or am I going to see some more profit-taking sell waves coming in? If that's the case, then obviously dumping some longs before that happens would be the best idea. But here we are walking away from Adobe, and as I say that, Adobe has taken out 563, so great timing on the exit for Adobe. Microsoft, I've already dumped some in front of 331. I think at this point, given where it's at, if it breaks 331 again, I'll just dump it all and we'll walk away with the $2.50 winner instead of trying to lock in $3 at the moment. Just give it a chance. Maybe we're able to hold it until the imbalance, right? At that point, if it's a buy side imbalance, we get that benefit of a pop. But if it comes to be a sell side, then we can just walk away with $2.50 and be happy about how this day has turned out. This day was, initially was not that great, with the NVIDIA being the one position that I was long in and getting run over because I got long in the pre-market, and NVIDIA was just bringing in selling after selling. Now, NVIDIA has turned around, obviously, after I got out. Well after I got out. Actually, I'm not even bothered by the fact that it took forever to go. See, I was long here at like 8 o'clock, and we finally dumped it at like 10. And then by the time it actually ran, it started its run at like 11 and never really got too far. And here we are back at that 392. So this was the only losing trade I have on the day, NVIDIA. Everything else locked in for profit, especially Microsoft and Adobe being the big winner for the day right now.
Yeah, the future's coming off here pretty good. So we're going to try to get out some of these Lucid there. We should have got it. I mean, I was offering 74. I could have just punched out of that trade, but we'll see where it goes from here. Lucid making moves back to the downside. Watch out for 38.50. Good thing we got out some at VWAP. Again, we're almost out of this trade. We have 25% left. So if we can get that out at 74, I think we'll do that. And then AMC falling down a little bit as the market continues to go. News on this move, Neil?
Look, there's no news on this move. I wish I could tell you that there was here, but it continues to be these runners here. SOPA just made another run at the high of the day. It just turned around off 18. It's gotten to 1860. Just turned around off 1825. I am trading it again. I've been short several times here. I just got short myself, but it continues to be these runners. Nothing really coming across the wire that's moving these markets. Kind of just probably the shortened holiday week and some clearing of positions, as we have had some volatility after such a great day yesterday.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I think that's what it is. I mean, the market's still up 0.75, so still a great day for the NASDAQ, right? There's no doubt about that. Yeah, I was looking at SOPA as well, and yeah, 18. I mean, we talked about these 18 levels, and we even talked about the support down here at 15 and change. This should have been an easy trade for me. We should have gone long down here. I mean, we talked about that, building the base. I even warned that, hey, if we snap below here, that's going to be a problem, right? And I mean, so I should have just took the long right there and give myself like 50 or 60 cents worth of room, and then celebrated that $2 or $3, I guess it's $2, from 16 up to $18 move there for SOPA. So yeah, what a good move that's been. Yeah, everything else not really mattering right now. Palantir coming back down. I'm waiting for this bottom of the day, so I want to get long into here, low 70s now. You're going to see this is 20% of position. We'll put on, not a full position, but we will put on our full position down here at 1870. So we just drop down a little bit. Let's see it break through 75. I mean, we're out of the money 8 cents. This is not a problem, but if it does come down, we do want to load it back up here. Around 1870 or so would be a good out for me on that. We did take another piece out. We said we would hold out for AMC, but that dipped down there. Again, we just have money right now. And with only 30 minutes left, it's like, I'm not going to play this game. I mean, we don't need to sit here like Arun said on Adobe. Like, I don't need to sit here and watch the market fall down and then lose the whole day in the last 30 minutes because I'm waiting for 10 extra pennies. So we're not going to do that. We're starting to take some out. We talked about piecing out some of the Lucid trade. Unfortunately, we were waiting at 75. It didn't come through on that move. It didn't get back up there. So got a little greedy. Should have just marketed that out. But right now, the market's starting to fall back down. And I like that rhetoric. I think it is profit taking heading into the holidays. Many traders won't trade tomorrow, but we will. We'll be here tomorrow, full day, full show. Both shows, 3 shows rocking and rolling tomorrow. Prad, V, and us going strong here tomorrow one more time, Arun. And yeah, it's been a good day here. So let's keep the profits and let's make sure that we do things right.
Yeah, tomorrow is going to be a trading day. We'll trade, but I can see this being a very light trading day already. I'm just going to put it out there. It's that we're probably not going to have as many positions. We're probably going to maybe just kind of caress and kind of feel out how we're going to trade the market and be very selective on how many trades we're going to take. If the volume's that dead, what I would focus on is maybe a slow to medium volume open and then just complete silence after that. And maybe we might get a nice little move right at the end there. But apart from that, we just got to really be smart about how you put your money to work, right? There's no point in chasing money after stocks that are just absolutely going to go nowhere. Like one of those trades actually from today that I gave up on turned out into a huge winner. This is the situation that I'm probably going to end up in tomorrow. Home Depot. I was in Home Depot for a while this morning, right? I got out about 2 hours. I was in Home Depot at 390.5. It was doing absolutely nothing. I'm like, you know what? Let's just walk away from Home Depot, cover the cost of the trade. And I got out at 390 and change. What does it do? It decides that it wants to make a trend not too long after I get out. And here we are at 395. That's a huge winner. But regardless of what happened in this specific stock, I feel like this is the scenario I'm going to end up with tomorrow, where a lot of stocks are going to do nothing, and then all of a sudden they're going to decide to trend up or down based on their own little thing, regardless of what the market does. And then you're going to, by the end of the day, you're going to have something like this, like, oh man, that was a dumb exit. Yeah, so just be smart about what you're doing tomorrow. If you can avoid trading tomorrow, just maybe sit back. I do this sometimes too, and I do this a lot on days where I know the rollover happens, the second Friday before the expiration Friday. So essentially the second Friday of the end of quarter that month. So whether it's March, June, September, or December, I tend not to trade. I'm very laid back in terms of whether I want to trade the futures that day or not, just because I know the volume is split between two contracts and I don't rush anything. I'm just like, it's not a priority for me to trade today. If there's something that sets up great or perfectly, then I'll get involved. And I feel like this is going to be a similar situation in the stock market tomorrow, where if the setup is so perfect, then you take the shot. Otherwise, you just kind of sit back like, yeah, you know what, there's no rush. I'm going to kind of just wait out, just sit back. Maybe you guys can throw some, I'll be probably more active with the chat anyways in terms of like responding to questions and symbols and whatnot tomorrow.
Where's Miss V? Unless,
of course, there's some catalyst that happens later on tonight before tomorrow that sends the market into a tailspin. But we are going to keep a very close eye on, I'm going to keep a very close eye on the chat in terms of symbols and whatnot tomorrow. Anyways, for today though, futures still creeping at that 46.75 area, 5 points from its high. It does look like you may want to take a look at that 46.80, but I think for me, it's too late in the day for me to start stepping into futures positions, especially for breaks. I might play something towards the end of the day, but for now, in terms of breaks, I think I'm going to hold off on the 80 level and just wait it out.
All right, guys, we need to get some more likes going here. 464 likes. Like, are you kidding me right now? 2,800 people watching. We're reviewing all of the names. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions. Arun's got some positions on. We're answering your questions. If you guys can turn this green or black or whatever it is on your system, please do that. That'd be very, very kind of you. We'd like to get to at least 1,000 here with over 3,000 watching. So that would be absolutely fantastic. And thank you for doing that if you can. If not, that's fine as well. Okay, so we do take a Peloton long right now. And so far, so good. It's breaking above some of these levels. We just want to get it before it breaks VWAP. VWAP is 50, so hopefully it can break that and we'll go back up to the upside. I actually don't even really know why it's down 4%. I did start a position at 40 flat. I think it's like, my price is like 40.02 or something like that in the long-term count. I think Peloton overdone to the downside right now. So yeah, this is a name that I'm happy to pick up here. I'm happy to pick it up for you on the show right now. Yeah, wow, we're in the money a whopping 10 cents. But if you look here, this is how bad it's been. And all we're doing is doing like a Kathy Wood here. We're going to pick up a name that's been absolutely beat down that we think has some moves to the upside. These bikes are like widely on sale right now. I just feel like, and again, I'm talking about it now as a hold here for a longer term trade. For right now, I like it. Now it's starting to move to the upside here for us. But again, I wonder that if come, mid-January or their next quarter, let's see their next report. And if I manage to get cracked on it, then we lose, right? But it's not a huge position. I like Peloton here moving forward into the new year. So let's see. I think you'll get some upgrades because remember what people say. It's the new year. I want to start working out. I want to hit the gym. I want to do this. So I don't feel like people will probably hold out to that. So we'll see here, especially if People are nervous to go back to the gym. And I know Peloton's a story of 2020. I know that. And that's why it's gotten killed. They didn't have a great report. But if you're looking for something value that's been beat down, I believe Peloton's going to be the name. So let's see what happens after Q1, after they report, even Q4. So let's see what they do in Q4 here. I like Peloton for longer term. Over to Neil.
I was checking in there just because when you brought up Peloton for significant news. I mean, there were some class action lawsuits from earlier, and you do get those from time to time, but nothing really moving the needle. But you said something there, Sean, about New Year's and resolutions and that type of a thing. And my question is actually for you, Arun, because I made myself a resolution for 2021. I don't do them, but when it comes to fitness, I did make one, and that I wanted to be able to do the Bring Sally Up challenge for push-ups. And it's the end of the year, and I can't do it, and it's nearly impossible. My question to you is, do you bother doing one of these? I've never done one on the fitness level, but I tried and I failed. So do you have any that you're doing for 2022 or planning on, Arun?
Well, okay, so essentially since at least in Toronto, a lockdown happened and the gyms were open finally, I think consistently since July, late July, early August of 2021. And I considered the time that I was at home, I was still working out at home, but I wasn't getting the same kind of like tempo that I normally work out with. So I was, still working out, but putting on some weight. So I was also, I took that to be, it's time to just bulk up. I've never really bulked up in my life. Yeah, I've never really bulked up in my life, intentionally, like, I'm gonna pack on the pounds, right? So this time I'm just like, okay, I'm already putting on some weight. Let me just pack on the pounds. So we just kind of went right there. I put on some weight. I went from like 190 something to like 210. So 20 pounds and change. And once the gym's open, I was like, okay, back on. We're gonna start working out again, like actually start to trim out a little bit. And I got myself down by like 13 pounds. I actually got myself down just south of 200. And then now I'm kind of packing on the pounds again as we get near the end of the year. I'm like, next year, this is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna try to actually cut properly this time, because I think my last cut was not proper. I kind of just gave up halfway through my cut. I'm like, but I like chocolate and I like all these other things. As healthy as I am, man, I randomly, I do get stuff my face quite a bit here. So I think this year, I think 2022 is going to be a healthier start to the year. And the big thing also that changed for me as well, and this is a story that I want to tell. Earlier this year, I went for a run with two of my buddies, super fit guys. Endurance-wise, they're ridiculous, right? And they're like, yo, just come for a run. Well, I'm not much of a long-distance runner anyways. They're like, just come for a trail run. So I go for a trail run. We went out to a conservation area, and I went for this run. And these guys are just everyone's very competitive, including me, but these guys are starting to compete with each other, and I can't keep up. I already know this. So I'm trying to run, and I get lost in the woods, and these guys are gone. I have no, I look up, I'm like, there's nowhere I can look to get any sense of where I am so I can actually walk back towards the car park or anything like that. So anyways, I'm wandering. I was like, I think it's this way. Anyways, I'm walking, eventually find a main path. I get myself back towards the car anyways. And these guys are just like, they did their whole thing, catch up to me. They're like, oh, why don't you just come run back to the car. I'm like, fine, at least now you guys are with me. As we get to the car, they're like, oh, this run's too easy, let's go up this way. And this is like this one path that goes up towards a hill. I'm like, I'll come up that way. As we're going up the hill, these guys are like, you know what? No, we're gonna go all the way to the top, and you can't go straight up. You have to do this like roundabout way. It's like another 1.5 kilometers up. And then imagine coming back down. I'm like, I'm not doing that. Anyways, I get up, I stop. I'm like, I'm going back to the car. I walk back. These guys run up to the top of the hill, run back down, and still beat me to the car, which was only like 500 meters away. I was walking back. So since that day, I got this watch, which has a GPS map on it, so that in the event that ever happens again, I will not get lost.
I got a segue for this. Because I was actually about to say, and I bet you those guys, they don't do resolutions, those guys, because fitness is probably a lifestyle to them, that's kind of what I believe. Like, you want things to be lifestyles and habits as opposed to fads. But you mentioned Peloton there, Sean. Actually, Apple, oh my goodness, I had the segue. It was like Apple. If you're talking about fitness and whatnot, I mean the Fitbit. Prad talks about slapping an iPad on top of a bike, and then you've got yourself a Peloton. But Apple here actually was just at the high of the day. Goodness, it looked like it was about to break out as you were talking, up 1%. It had lagged the overall market, but looking relatively strong. Get a wearable device. I mean, it's certainly a good thing. You never want to get lost. That's ridiculous. And you can get an Apple Watch, and it's a heck of a lot cheaper than Garmin, which is also publicly listed. And why do I know that? Because my wife has bought a couple of those bad boys. Very, very expensive. I guess I should own stock in that company because you pay tons for that watch. It's like, okay, you get lost when you're doing your triathlon or your long distance ride. But it's a lot cheaper to just go for an iWatch.
Yeah, Apple. I mean, Apple's wrecking a lot of games right now, and just buy everything Apple. I would say, to take a line from Jim Cramer, I mean, it's just like hold, don't trade all of your Apple shares. Would be what I'd say. And I made the mistake of getting some out of Apple at was it 152 or something, and then it went. I can't remember. I think it was 152, and then it went down, and I wasn't able to buy it back. So Apple, continues to work. Anyways, every single day. Apple's a great stock. There's no doubt about that. So is Shopify. So are a lot of these names. What's going on with Pfizer right now? A quick little look here. What's SOPA doing? SOPA back down to 1660. Okay. We'll have to watch out for that one. Lucid. We still have this position on. We'll see what happens with Lucid right now, coming back down. Doesn't look like that really wants to do too much. Our CCL trade was a good one today, but I left a stop order in there that I didn't mean to. You guys on the morning show know that. So we do go long at 20.50 or whatever. It goes up $1. That one's still moving around. AMC trying to go. I don't know. Doesn't want to. We'll have to wait for imbalances to come out for AMC at some point as well. And then that's about it, man. Palantir struggling to do anything right now. And I just think that, these aren't big positions. So we have to tell you that straight up right now. I mean, these are just, we're waiting for the market to close really at this point, and come out at 350 and see if we can find something on the imbalance locator. Other than that, we'll try to pick the best prices here. And that's why I'm waiting for I was waiting. I don't know if that tick happened or not, but we're waiting at 71. It goes down to 72. So maybe when this comes down here, we'll wait to see if it cracks below these days low. So that's basically what I'm looking for right now. I did want to look back at Pfizer though, because this was the trade of the day. We hit this real easy. This was an easy trade. Like, we should have really made infinitely more on this trade, because the news came out that the pill was now available to be shipped and to be bought and for at-home use. It's the Pfizer treatment, I guess, for COVID. I think you take it after your second or third day. Don't quote me on this. I have no idea. I don't remember what it is, but they were approved by the FDA. And it actually hung around here. Maybe I can even zoom in a bit. It actually hung around here for a bit when the news came out. You could see the news comes out here. We notice on volume spikes, right? And then I just went over to Pfizer, and then it came back down. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take this bid right here. So we got long at 50.15 or what, 59.15 or 59.20 here. Just going to use this as our out. So we really gave it about 30 cents, and then it just started. We take our first out there at 30, and then at 50, and then upside, and get it out at $60.20. And since then, Pfizer's kind of like, trade the news, and that's it. Like, the trade was over with. And so we were lucky to get out there, and now Pfizer's come right back into that same level again, 59. And, this is what I mean. When you're looking at all these names and hosting a show, it becomes difficult to pick up some of these when they come back to key levels. But that's really, traders, what we're looking for right now. We're looking to find, are there some names that are at some key levels here that we can buy and possibly get a little bit of a run in the last 20 minutes? So you sort of have to look at names that are doing something. SOPA is one of those. This ALLK was actually a really funny one for us today, because I remember we were both the opposite way, and I think we both wound up basically doing nothing on this name here today, because oh man, how do I? Ooh, I had to zoom back out. Darn it. Okay, here, let's see if I can just go like this to show you guys. Yeah, so here we go. So we're in at 1030, right? It goes all the way up. We get out at 1085, half of it. And then we basically just do the exact same math and then get out on a 10 break. The same amount we won. I don't want to say win, that we made there. We lost right there. So putting us virtually flat on the stock. And then since then, it's just kind of trickled all the way to the downside here and making a base at $9. So I think this might be a possibility for a runner. But again, you're down 90% today. You're not going to be able to go short at $9. You have to wait for this. You have to wait for an uptick. So there might be something right there. as I look over, and the net's starting to go back upside here as AMC's starting to make a move. So ALLK is a name that you could look at here, off $9. I just, this would have to be a swing trade at this point. I don't think we're going to go parabolic here to the upside. If we do, then I think like 920 is a good take. So look, if we take out this 901, I'm going to go long. So I'm going to put a stop order in for 902. If I get printed at 902, we'll go long, and then we'll just use like a stop of 9. Very, very simple. Maybe we get a flush to the high side here. 902 long on this name, ALLK. That's going to be a trade I'm going to put on right now.
Yep.
If it breaks.
Yep, I'm looking at the screen going, what do I talk about? There's nothing for me to talk about. Futures going back towards their highs. The only thing I've got is Microsoft, which is absolutely doing nothing. It's decided that it wants to stay below 332 as we get closer and closer to these imbalances. Is there anything else? Actually, let me pull up one of my volatility scanners here. What's moving here? ALK being down 89% on the day. Yeah, Moderna being down 6% on the day. Neil?
It's weird. You guys were saying what is moving. And as you were saying that, I just happened to notice, and not because I own shares of it long term, but Uber up 3%, just broke the high of the day. So it is on the move. Another one that is from earlier on today, if you're looking for things that are moving, that BVXV from this morning. Now, this was on the watch list, low float runner, actually capitulated, and we talked about capitulation yesterday, capitulated at 240 and has come all the way back. So it fell about 50 cents, right back up to that 280 level. That is now looking like it's on the move. And again, it's these small caps that seem to be moving the markets. And then last for you there, you guys already talked about SOPA. It's actually just pushing back down into VWAP here. Probably could have held on for VWAPs, but down to 16. Looks like that double topper, I suppose triple top at around $18 has held up. But SOPA still holding this 15 level, still holding VWAP as much as it's come back a couple of times, up that 50% and still looking pretty strong.
75 cents right now on AMC. Yeah, SOPA was a great stock there. Good thing we didn't take that 18 long. We talked about that a little bit as well. Okay, so Lucid, again, gift comes right back. So now we have a small piece, and we'll see. We told you we were holding 25%, got out of half, about 15% of that. So now I have 10% left. So we had holding 25%. I took a 15% out there for like 5 pennies or so, as it just comes right back to the upside here as the future's looking to take it out. So now I'll cancel my 75. And if we rip up at the end of the day, we rip up. If not, we get out. And, as they say, Bob is certainly your uncle. Okay, so AMC, I'm just going to take it out right now at 86. One third of what we have left now out at 86. If that does go through, we'll try that through 86 right now on AMC. Hopefully that we can get printed there. We should. We're sitting there at 86. So that's going to be, come on, don't tell me it's going to just go down from here. We'll see where it goes. ALLK, so, all right. So guess what? We're long, 902. We talked about this trade. I'll put in a stop order here on the downside of this trade in case it doesn't work out for us. But the stop is just going to be $9. And here comes right again. It resisted that $9 last time, right? So hopefully right now it does again. Probably it won't. And there it is. And there we go, out at 99. So small hit there was literally 3 pennies. Or did we even get O's? We might have even got O's out there. Yeah, 99. So a small little hit there on that one. It looks like it bounced off of 98. So maybe now, if it wants to go back up to the upside, we can clear that out. Now I'm going to wait for 906. So we just bounced off there. So that was pretty interesting. A big volume spike there. I think a lot of people sort of copied that trade that we made there on that. So it breaks through 9. Some big volume spikes happening there. But then it just rejects the move up. And here it goes to the downside. So whatever. I'm pretty happy with that one, to be honest with you, even though we wind up losing on that. Nothing really happens. I think the risk and reward on that was well worth it, man. We were targeting like 920, and we wind up taking a 3 cent hit. So good trade on that one. I apologize. I wish that would have worked. But ALK, that's not horrible. If you took it with me, you could get out right now for 2 pennies. So you may want to do that. Other than that, Arun, I'm kind of stuck here with you, looking for something to do. Peloton. Oh, there was a question about why didn't I go short Peloton there? I just, again, trading a little bit of my book here. I do like the story behind Peloton. I think it's going to work into the new year. It was beat down a little bit today. I just thought into tomorrow, where I do predict another update tomorrow. I mean, now it'll be 3 days in a row. Maybe it's not an update tomorrow, but there it is. We take the long. It breaks back above some of these levels here, 40s. So that was good for us. We'll see. It may not work, but I like the Peloton long. Just breaking above here. You know, I don't want to call this garbage, but these are kind of like all-time lows down here, and we did resist. So, you know, we'll see if it can work. But I like Peloton. It's just right now, Arun, like, I'm glad we're trading tomorrow, but honestly, the last little bit, we got to make a lot of the killings in the morning like we did today. We're able to get on a couple good positions, then emptying them out here in the afternoon. I'm almost thinking like that's the best strategy, is figure it out, do some research, pick some key levels, come back tomorrow, and let's absolutely crush this, because I'm not sure what's going to happen. We do have, again, another 7 minutes until imbalances come out, so that might be something. And as you can see, please report the time level.
7 p.m.
7 p.m.
He's ahead of schedule there, guys.
We'll check it out. Valeria stole my Rolex yesterday, so we got on the Breitling today, and yeah, it's nowhere near 7. So far, so good on this one. It looks like we'll crush our 3.5-gallon goal here today for that. So let's just keep on going. Peloton, again, that's one of those names. And AMC's coming back up to that level of 84 where we put our order. Let's see if we get filled this time. Upside 84 on AMC, looking to take 80 cents.
Yeah, when you were talking about ALLK, I was like, really? It's at 9? I had this short. We had this trade. Sean, you were long, I was short. I was riding that short from 1043. Priced at 1043, and it was refusing to get above 11. You'll see it on the top of the screen right here. I don't want to pull up the entire chart because of the gap down. But yeah, actually, no, I can do this on this chart. Yeah, let me pull up on this chart. So this is where I essentially got short, 1043. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to walk away from this short. There's too much support. Yeah, it turns out there was no support. They just completely leaked after that entire move to the downside. So there's your exit there, and then just completely just fell off the entire day. Setting up trades for tomorrow. That one thing I want to look at for tomorrow, actually, I just noticed this because of the volatility scanner, was Team Atlassian. It is kind of, you know, apparently it moved quite a bit yesterday. I don't know why I didn't see this yesterday, but it did go from 488 and change all the way to 348 and change all the way to 380. So quite the big mover there, north of $30. And now it's getting into this little area here where I can potentially look for some shorts. So 410 on the stop, anything north of 400, I'd like to look for some shorts. I'm even, given the range, maybe even 395, put up $15 in risk and see if we can actually go for the short somewhere up there. But it's got to set up though. It's got quite the range. You don't want to get run over. So just be smart about whether you can actually take the short or not. But that's a trade. And in terms of actual trades for tomorrow, again, I'm going to temper the expectations on how many trades I'm going to take, right? So with the futures moving the way they are, if there's something crazy, like if we were to say take out the absolute high, which is 47.40, which is still doable given how much this market's been moving per day for the last 2 days, it's still doable. If we were to take out 47.40 and change, I would imagine 47.50 is going to be looked at as the next big level. That would kind of shift the game a little bit, opening up the stops and allowing for the market to actually give you some setups. But if we were to stay somewhere south of 4,700, I think it's going to be pretty hard to get some trades on tomorrow. So temper your expectations. Be prepared, regardless of whatever your expectations are. Be prepared, though. That's a big thing, because markets can, on a dime, they can do whatever they want to and change. And if they want to get volatile real quick, they can. So just be aware of that situation potentially happening, but at the same time, temper your expectations on what you're going to expect the day before a holiday, right? So here we are going into the final 3 minutes or so before the imbalances come out. I've got the imbalance out here. In about 3 minutes, we'll get an update. Microsoft is working towards its highs. It's at 331.95. A high is 332. So we're sitting comfortably long, up $3.27 in the money on Microsoft. If we get a nice buy-side imbalance on the Microsoft, you're going to see this move right through 302. I think that's, at this point, priority is going to be given to the Microsoft imbalance. So here we are as we are breaking through 332. This is what I want to see. More action like this, but I want to see this being done as we get closer and closer to the imbalances, maybe in the last 30 seconds. Maybe, you know, they could tip off their hand. Maybe there's a buy-side imbalance and someone knows ahead of time as we get moving to the upside. So that's what I'm looking for. That's the only thing I've got. Everything apart from that, we're just going to wait for these imbalances to come out and see if we can do something with them.
Yeah, good cover there. We're already getting very, very close to that. Let me know if you need anything, Arun. I was just thinking about my father because Papa Katina, I finally got him into Bitcoin, man. So he actually bought at 45 grand. So I'm very, very excited. As long as when I see him at Christmas, as long as we're around here, man, 50,000, he'll be super happy. I told him, like, yeah, you got to get, we have so much equity exposure that I was like, you got to get something into BTC. So we actually got some, I think it was 45.5, 45.8, something like that there. But instead of buying Bitcoin, of course, put it in a registered account, and we went with BTCC I can't remember what it is. I think it's is it .b? I think here. Oh no, I don't have to do anything in Toronto. I think on ours. So let's hold on a second. Let's just see. In Toronto, this is the Purpose Bitcoin. Yeah, okay. So this is the Purpose Bitcoin ETF. So if you did want to get into anything Bitcoin related, BTCC is a good name here. This is what it looks like on a 20-minute. But let's just go on a daily chart. You could see it does mimic what Bitcoin's all about. So watch out for this. I can't remember. There's .u and .b. .u is going to be the trust, which I think you could spend US dollars on, and then I think it's .b is the other one. So we'll watch out for that. But anyways, this is a good name to get into here if you so wish. All right, so with only, let's just take out one more piece here on this. We'll take out some 88s now. There it is. Well, it just runs right through us. There on AMC. Let's go over to the AMC chart quickly. As imbalances, Arun coming out right now. So we're going to get ready for those. One more out. I mean, what a great. Thank God we put that long in there, man. We missed it the first time. We changed our price. We put it to 12 instead of 5, and we get it. And now we're loving life on the upside. Peloton's still working right now, 10 cents in the money. Whatever, man. I mean, we'll ring the register. I mean, all we're really doing right now is stacking it up. So as the Fed goes brr on their cash register, our net doing the same right now for us, although whatever. It's more like just spitting out candy right now. Okay, let's see the sizes here. Absolutely nothing. I mean, Apple's here for a sell. Yeah, forget about EDU. Apple's here for a sell as well. So we'll see if that's starting to make a move down. It was 175.20. Now Apple's starting to go down. So yeah, maybe it's time to clear some of these out, as a lot of the big boys, actually the only big boy I see on here is Apple. I don't see anything else. I mean, I'm not worried about Neo at 400 or Intel at 400. I mean, these are nothing. Other than that, man, I mean, a bank stock is on here. I don't see anything as far as imbalances, Mr. Arun. And the reason why I say forget about EDU is because A, it's going to pair off. B, it has an 8-cent range. And C, you know, how many shares you're going to have to take here to make this worth your while. So you may want to punch into 10s, and then maybe you get like a 7 or an 8. You know, I don't know if this prints below the day's high, so below the day's low. So might not be worth it for the amount of risk, because if this turns around on you, then you probably go back to day's high. So to me, not worth the risk on this one. Other than that, man, everything else working for us. Peloton, Palantir, Peloton, and Lucid all in the money.
Yeah, I'm just quickly going to filter this out so I can actually look at Microsoft's imbalance. It reacted somewhat positive for a quick second there, and why did I show this? Not this. It was a sell? Maybe it was sell. Nope, it's not there either. Anyways, I got to figure out what happened with Microsoft's imbalance, but it did look like it wanted to break 332 real quick, and then now completely turned around. Here we are going to the downside, but I noticed the futures, on the other hand, decided to go to the upside. They took out that 46.80 level, so now I know that 46.60 will be the level I'm going to work with tomorrow. In the event that we don't do anything crazy. So 46.60 is going to be the new level. Let me just make some adjustments here and see if we can actually catch a bid at some point tomorrow. Same way I wanted to get that 25 today, couldn't get it. Maybe we get that 80 break tomorrow and we can actually do something with. If the market were to go up higher, we'll figure out some new levels. I do have some other levels we'll talk about tomorrow when we do the futures update as well. For now, let's go back to these imbalances. What did I just do? Why? Oh, it's because of Amex. Okay, that's why.
I never even have that.
Okay, why is a firm here? What is going on? Oh,
you have the wrong one.
I have the wrong one. There we go. Microsoft, 241 to the sell side. That's what the imbalance was. It means absolutely nothing. It just means that I got to get out of this position. I'll put an offer out, see if we can't get some exits close to 332. and we'll go back to the actual main imbalance screen, which is New York NASDAQ, and I guess we can do some AMAX imbalances as well. And here we are. Apple, third largest at 1.29 TAL.
Piton.
5.5 on the day.
What is?
TAL.
Yeah, I mean, these are all those.
Yeah,
these are Chinese. They're all Chinese education names.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
So we'll stay away from that. And those of you that were mocking. I'm just playing around. We'll spin it for Peloton right now because finally it's back up to 25 cents in the money. With only 5 minutes to go, we might want to just take this one. There goes Peloton right up to the upside here. Some sellers on board. So for me, this is probably worth a sell at these levels. We just, again, like I don't want to say that stuff about mocking, and then the next thing I know, we're unable to get out of some Peloton. So we'll wait for that. There it is. It just goes through 67 there. We get some of those prints, and now we are out of Peloton for that 20-something cents there. So a nice move. I just, again, there's 9,000 shares right there on Peloton at 68. It's been a nice move back upside right there. Are those more goodies for me, or those are... Here, pass me that whole box. I want to tell people about this. So I want to say a shout out to Phil. I don't know if Phil's watching. Thank you, Miss Maggie. But so just to make sure that I never run out, Arun.
I see it.
Of sticky.
No, this is all. You'll give that
There
back.
we go. Of sticky notes, I want to say a big shout out to you, Phil. Amazon Phil on Twitter. You can do that. There it is right there. So a hell of a lot of sticky notes. But if you notice, I'm using right now, like I'm using green against this yellow. So there, I can't. It's hard to see, but I took these from the office, but I will start to use those. But thank you, a big shout out there to Amazon Phil for sending those. So thank you, Maggie, for passing those, and I will put those back over at my other desk coming up soon. But thank you for those. I will never run out of sticky notes.
Oh, he won't ever run out of sticky notes. A question in the chat. Someone was asking, Arun, what do you think the future is going to do in the next, oh, damn it, Microsoft. I got it. Oh, it goes another 60 cents. What's going to happen on the futures between Christmas and New Year's? I don't know. But I'll be here to trade it, whatever happens.
Up. Yeah, we don't know, guys. I mean, the thing is, you're going to get a lot of window dressing and stuff heading into the end of the year. So what we mean by that is people selling positions, realizing profits, taking some money out of the market, and also you may get some beat down. So there we go. We take out, whatever. I took out half of the Palantir there at 89 on that. So it's just not moving. We'll take 4 cents on there. Maybe we'll buy a bottle of wine on the way home. Big shout out to Raheem Alani from OCI Group. Dropped off a nice bottle as well. Thank you so much for that. And then yesterday was really lucky. Got a nice gift from NASDAQ as well. So some nice stuff happening. Thank you so much to everybody. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. I don't care if you're not allowed to say that. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to absolutely everybody out there. And if you're not tuned in tomorrow, that's why we say it. But we are back live, obviously, tomorrow again. So happy holidays. Merry Christmas to everybody out there. Be safe with you and yours. We do this often, but my drink of choice, eggnog. So I'm going to be dropping down some eggnog, some rum and eggnog tonight. You got to have that spiced rum. Throw that in there. And then as well, celebrate with some champagne, some nice wine. Those are my drinks of choice. We already know what Prad's is. It's a whiskey sour. Neil said he likes bourbon in his eggnog, so we've talked about that as well. I think I did ask you. You're a bourbon, kind of Scotch, whiskey type of guy?
I'm a cognac guy, yeah.
Cognac, that's what it was.
That's what it was, yeah.
I do bourbon in the eggnog also, Christopher. So you know what? I'm gonna try some. I have a lot of bourbon at home, so we'll do some of that. Yeah, I will. It's a little sweeter, right?
It's, to be honest, like I used to do rum. I used to do spiced rum and eggnog all the time. Like that was my go-to. And just recently, I've gone with the bourbon. I think you're gonna really enjoy it. I don't know that it's too much sweeter. I think it's a more crisp taste. I think you'll like it. If you like the rum, you're definitely gonna like that. You know what? I'm spending the last 2 minutes trying to figure out ICLR. This random stock is just absolutely flying. I'm putting this on my radar for tomorrow. I don't know what's going on. There's no news on this thing, and this is not some small cap. It's a $300 stock breaking out here late in the day. I didn't see it on the locator. I don't know if you guys saw it there. Maybe that's the reason why it just broke the high. But yeah, late day runner, and it's not a small cap. Weird.
Yeah, talk about a late day runner. See, when you think on Microsoft, $3.50 was a great win. Yeah, how about another dollar in the last few minutes as
Look at
Microsoft
the NASDAQ,
taking
man.
off? north of 333 now, when I thought, oh, 332 would have been a great exit. No, 333. Could have gotten another dollar and change as the entire market, including the indexes and these big tech names, are taking off to the upside, absolutely on fire. Looks like there's some buy programs kicking in as we get near the end of the day. So this is going to be quite an aggressive close. This usually means volume's going to be bad tomorrow because they're getting it all done tonight. So,
stop.
Oh boy.
I think you're right, though. But okay, there it is, another out on Lucid. So actually, everything we took here was a good win for us heading into the close. So so far, so good there. Even our AMC outs, we waited for the moon. It didn't come, but what a great trade on AMC. We're going to end the day with AMC near the top of the list here for my number one stock. Actually, Pfizer, we took it out. Pfizer, actually, now that I look at it, it's Pfizer, AMD. They're all roughly the same for some nice wins today. AMD was an absolute great one early, man. I just can't believe, again, that we have these absolute bottoms and then we got out. Like can you guys believe this? I have a 140.30 print in my account. 140.30. The low of the day on AMD is 140.26. So there it is, up to 144 right now. Unbelievable. I got to do an Arun type move, man, where I try to hold some of these. I see the cash flashing and it's like, I don't know what the hell's wrong with me, but that's how we stay positive. We put that money in our pocket, and unfortunately, I could not predict what a great move that was in the NASDAQ right there. So we're out of everything, man. Our Palantir, we took a whopping 5 cents on that one. Our Lucid battled all the way back. We were able to get out of that one late. And then Peloton, we got out. Peloton, we were along 45. It's now 76, so that's a good one. But we did get out at 68. So out already on Peloton, but there it is right there. Tick, tick, boom on Peloton with only 45 seconds left. I don't know who's doing the bell. I don't see anybody back there. Hopefully someone rings that bell coming up very, very soon. There he is. It's Mr. Prad. Yesterday, Prad and I about to say, we're both 6 feet exactly. So you could touch that, right, Prad? Yesterday there it is. Yeah, so that's what I was doing yesterday. So Prad and I both 6-footers right there. So we're going to get ready to ring that bell. And what a nice bell this is going to be, because we are very, very lucky to have Trader Prad ringing the bell. I think this might be your first time, if I am not correct. So let's count this down right now, and the countdown goes on. I think we're dead on this countdown, guys, today. So here we go with only 5 seconds left. Get ready to hit that thing, my friend. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. What a professional. Prad hits it right there. Much different than Randy when it comes back to us. I don't even know where I am after that guy hits it. So what a great day it's been so far. What a great rally for the NASDAQ. We've talked about the Santa Claus rally coming to town. It's here early, and I believe it's here to stay. How did the markets wind up?
Up. Markets are running here. Look, it's 1.2% with the NASDAQ. Very, very strong move right at the end of the day, sort of breaking to those highs. And when I was looking at some of those names that are running, it was just nothing but the market taking off. S&P closed at 1%. The Dow, look, lagging a bit here, but I don't think too many people care as much about the Dow. TSX is going to be up. You did have crude hold on to and extend some gains there. So all those demand concerns starting off the week poorly, looking like the reverse a little bit. We got the good news with Pfizer getting the approval for that pill, which, heck, I mean, that's going to have us, moving to the upside, and people, more optimistic about how we're responding to Omicron and the pandemic here. Pretty much flat on crypto, but they haven't been doing much at all this week.
I don't know. I mean, crypto just broke through 4,000 on Ethereum. That was a good trade. I just want to come to my screen because I don't ever want to ignore super chats, and I feel like someone said we missed it. So first of all, Neil and Arun, great job this week, guys. So far, so good. So we can discuss a raise, so that's good for you guys. And then right here, guys, I missed your super chat. So trending one, please put something in there right now, and I will answer your super chat if I can see it in the next couple minutes, because we do have to wrap it up. So if trending one is still there, I apologize. We never mean to miss. Should he sell SOPA at 860? Okay. Okay, so let's have a quick look here. No. If that's your average price, I think that's pretty darn good. So if that's your average price, should you sell it right now? Okay, look, so my logic is always going to be the same. if you're in a double up right now, which you are, it's 100% of a gain, right? So what I would do is always like to trade and play with house money. So if the stock completely goes to zero, then you're fine, right? So I would get out of half. Or if that's too conservative, as you can see by the way I trade, a little bit conservative, I would say even right now, man, if you're able to execute, why not? And look, this could go to $40 tomorrow. So see what you want to do, but to me, for right now, and again, it's going to depend on your own risk tolerance, how much money you have on here. You know, is it a rent payment that you have? Do you need the cash? Everyone's going to be their own decision. But for me, I would say if you're long down here at $8, we were just there today, so all of your gains could wipe out. I think, you know, let's call it 25%. I mean, I'd get out of a quarter of your position. Therefore, if it does dip back down, at least you put some profit in your pocket and you could deal with it then. And then if it rips tomorrow, you got some money there. So I don't know. I'd like to take out some. So thank you for the super chat, trending one. And that's basically what I would do. If you get a double up in a day, Arun, I mean, that's probably worth taking. So 8 to 16, that's a good trade. Congratulations, Mr. Trending. I think that's a good one for you. Any last thoughts here? Because we're just going to wrap this up.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
All right, let's wrap it up. Thank you so much, Natalie. Always working super hard here to my left. Thank you for that, our newest member. Thank you to Maggie for coming back and forth here. A big thank you to, there they both are. And there's Rob right there as well. Thank you, Rob. He's doing everything by himself as Lucas is back tomorrow or nah? Nah, so it's Rob by himself again tomorrow. So, 2 weeks. Oh, geez, Rob, the one needing the raise. Thank you so much to everybody. Ms. V had to book out, so you didn't see her on the afternoon show. Big thanks to her. Big thanks to Neil, obviously, always a professional on the big desk. And we're excited for tomorrow. It's going to be our last day of the week. And guess what? Wear with us, man. Tweet at me. Tweet us your holiday sweaters, because tomorrow Arun has something in mind. I've got something. We're all ready to rock and roll.
Bad.
Oh, come on, man.
It's going to be bad.
What do you mean bad?
No, as in like I couldn't find anything, so I'm going to have to make something. And
Perfect.
Lower your expectations is what I'm saying.
No, I'm raising expectations now that you've said that.
That's even better, bro.
Yeah, now you've got some originality. By the way, SOPA's at 1670, so if you didn't sell some before, maybe you want to sell some now. For all of us here, and Trader Prad, thanks for ringing the bell. Thanks for hosting. Again, Market Movers, guys. I mean, he almost talks almost as much as me, and he has the mic the whole 3 hours. So thank you so much to Trader Prad for running that show again. Nothing but upside for that show. Thank you so much for joining us. It's Ugly Christmas Sweater and or Creativity Day, Arun. Tomorrow, join us live, 8:30. Let's see what Arun's got up
Arts and
his
crafts,
sleeve.
everybody.
Bye, guys.